Okay, let me
Hey.
fix this. Okay.
So, welcome to my small nightmare. I've been postponing this for so long, but finally it's time.
Yeah, it's funny how you ask me, do you know what to say at the start? And then you start. Okay, so this is a very uh, special kind of stream because it has been something that has been, at least in my
Dicen que
backlog.
no sound.
No
Can you
sound?
guys hear us? Oh, no sound. ¿Y ahora? Oh,
It's
it is
working?
working now.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Just let me check in my phone, just in case. So you can talk about.
Well, I'm not sure if everything was heard. What's up, guys? But I've been postponing this for so long, and it's finally time.
Just let me check. Yep, okay.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Loud and clear. Okay, thank you.
So there were a lot of meme videos like, oh, if this makes me laugh, the stream ends, and wanted to combine that idea with teaching. And in our case, we didn't really have the time to try to learn everything. But given that we are a very small team, we are just 3 people, we at least need to be able to use the basic fundamentals or knowledge in every of our areas, just so communication can get better, right? So that's why I have been like proposing this idea to teach blueprints to the guys. In the case of Mauricio, our 3D artist, like he is just watching our our course, which you can get here or here.
It's not
So
working. Okay.
yeah, it's not working. So, but in his case, there hasn't been that much time. So we wanted to make this video also not only for his benefit, but also as a way of introducing blueprints to a new kind of person. I mean, I will try to make it like it's from scratch, but not that much, given that if you have seen our videos, we already have a fundamentals type of video in our list of Unreal Engine tutorials, right? So that's why this is more like a quick start. Maybe Guillermo has already some fundamentals, but it's still a good idea to start from the beginning, right?
Yeah, and well, we probably will be here for hours. So we'll see. So supposedly it ends when I learn blueprints, when it clicks. So that click may happen in 5 hours. 6? I don't know.
Don't worry. We have an end goal, right?
I
Because it's not like, oh, we're gonna stay streaming like 10 hours. We don't know.
Coolly.
But I have like, the idea is to end up with a game mechanics that we can use for a puzzle type of game, which is a simple game. We don't really need to polish the mechanic aspect. Usually in a puzzle game, what you polish are the puzzles themselves. The mechanics usually are pretty simple and repetitive because you build on top of that. So let's not get on the game design just yet. Let's begin with blueprints.
Okay. It's all about blueprints.
Yeah, in this case, I mean, I could teach you to write C++, but I don't think that I would be asking too much of your time.
I want to sleep tonight. So
yeah. Okay, so
let's start.
Yeah. The first thing we need to do is create a project. We're really starting from the basics. So you can launch.
Sorry, this news looks pretty interesting. I hadn't checked that. Okay. So just launch. All right.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we are using Unreal Engine 5.1.0. Stuff may change in next iterations of Unreal, but usually the fundamentals are the same at the start. So while it loads, I have my trusty list of things. Let's create a game project. a
and
blank project,
a blank project, and
call it whatever you like to be called.
okay.
Oop. Okay.
There. Yeah, you told me whatever, so let's
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever makes you happy, it's beneficial to the learning process.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So first, we are using Unreal because it's the tool that we have been using like forever. We are really comfortable with it. This initial part works for any type of language. It's not really like, oh, you will only learn how to use blueprints. You could also learn to use another language or another type of visual scripting. But the first part, general part, we will then go deeper into just blueprints. So take a look in.
Cambio. I changed the to on the desktop, I think.
No, not yet, not yet.
Okay.
Because we will not be typing just much.
Okay.
Okay, so at first, let me go back to the whiteboard.
All right.
Whoop. So programming is all about asking something, processing it, and getting a value.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we call an input. Let's say you ask your friend, oh, when are we going to get together? When your friend is processing like, oh, I'm free this Sunday, and you start making up the plans, let's say you're figuring out when. This is the processing part.
All right.
And when you get the result, is the output.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the same as writing stuff. This is writing. The processing part is called operations. And the output, oh, excuse me.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. It's probably gonna be a way too long session. It ends when I learn, so we shall see.
Yeah, excuse me. The input is reading because, oh, that's not how you type read. And the output is writing.
The stream ends when our programmer writes properly.
Oh, no chance. Never ends then.
Okay.
So what do I mean by this? You really don't expect like to remember all of the code. You just want to do something. That something is called processing, but it's almost like a black box. Like asking your friend when is he free or when can you get together. You need to give him like an initial information. For example, oh, I'm free on Saturday and Thursday. That will be the input. That's what he needs to read. Deciding when is the processing part, the operations, and the output will be returning the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in programming is just these three operations. Reading stuff from somewhere, doing something with the stuff that you have read, and then writing it somewhere so you can show the value.
Okay.
For example, clicking on the X is the input. The processing part is closing everything, and the output is that everything is closed.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how you need to think whenever you want to do something, and it will become much easier to do stuff. Because if you immediately, oh, I want my character to jump, I want my character to shoot, it's like there are multiple operations that happens, but we never do it at the same time. So this is the basics of the basics. What's on my list then?
Okay. So far, everything is working. All right.
Okay, so after this, we just need to go to Unreal and
All right.
start with special terminology.
El desktop los
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So zoom out the.
Let's switch. There we go. Oh. Uh-huh.
Ah,
I got it.
ah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So this is the default map whenever you open Unreal. It's called the viewport. Just as a little overview, here you will put stuff on your level, make it look pretty. Here at the right side is the outliner where you can find anything that you have put inside the level. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Now, when we want to add stuff to our level, we use it through a class, which a class is just a representation of an idea. Okay, what do I mean by that?
Yeah, please.
If I want to add a car, I need to create something that will represent that car inside the game.
Right.
Which could be just something called a class or a blueprint that has, how many wheels, how fast does it go, how much, what's the top speed, what's the color, etc. Whatever you want, that's a class. So everything you see here is a class. But whenever we look it inside a level, it's called an actor. So even though this is a landscape, behind this landscape is a code that make it so it appears in the level. So when I say class, it's just a code behind it. And when I say actor, is the actual thing in the map. So we usually just create actors inside Unreal. So we can create doors, we can create cars. Everything that you can see here is an actor. Okay. Even the lights, even the sky.
So everything on this right side on the outliner is an actor. Even the lights, everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, the definition of an actor. So let's start by creating an actor that will represent, what did I put it as? Okay, it's just a box.
So I'm gonna control and spacebar.
Okay.
We'll bring on the content drawer, and I just create it here, right? Just blueprints.
Yeah.
And I right click and go on blueprints, and I create a class, right?
Yep.
Okay. And this class is an actor.
Yes, exactly. That's why I needed to explain what's a class, what's an actor, and we will get later to the other stuff. So yes.
Okay.
Let's click and create an actor. Let's just call it box.
It still has to be BP, or?
It will be a good idea because there are different type of classes and not necessarily they will be BP. So it's a good idea to have the specification of it. So yeah.
Okay, but this one is BP for sure. Okay,
yeah.
All right. What do we call this?
Just box.
It's a box. Okay.
Yeah, we will create a little box.
BP box, and let's enter.
Okay, so now we have created an actor, and we have opened that asset, which has this UI.
All right.
Now, the actor will have these three main points, which is the viewport, the construction script, and the event graph that we will see in a minute.
Okay.
But every actor really depends on the components it have inside. What are components? Whenever you want to try and reuse the stuff that you already made, you can use it as a component. For example, every game needs 3D assets. Every game needs lights. Every game needs, I don't know, animations.
So let's say that if I create a group of, let's say, rocks that make up a mountain, that's a component.
It could be.
Okay.
It could be. So, an actor will be a collection of these components. For example, the most common one is the static mesh component. If we didn't have this component, we would need to create the code inside it to make it show the polygons, which, as you can see, we will be reusing a lot, so that's why it's a component. And the Unreal Engine already gives it to us.
All right.
So in this case, this component called static mesh holds these different details inside it, which is a transform, which you can move around inside here. We have a static mesh, and we can select a static mesh here.
Okay.
Wait, oh, here it is.
It's huge. All right.
Right. So in this case, if you wanted to draw a sphere, I mean, you could do it manually if you create your own component and put a sphere, but because it's reusable, you really can choose any type of static mesh.
Okay.
Just so we have static meshes, I'm going to add the starter content, which you can go to the content drawer, add, and where is it? Yeah, add feature or content pack, content, starter content, which brings a lot of shapes, particle effects, and meshes.
Okay.
Which we can find here. It opened here. Now we have a folder called starter content, architecture, and audio, a lot of stuff that we can play around. And I'm going to move to the I'm just gonna close it.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Tsar. It's gonna be fun, and hopefully I'm not the only winner here. Okay, keep going, please.
Okay, so if I wanted to add, for example, light, let's say that this static mesh emits light, we can create another component, find a point light, and now it has this light.
And well, I could just drag a sphere on the map and then just drag light. Why do I need to group it all in this blueprint?
So we can reuse it. It is as you say. If I go here and I just, let's add a sphere. And let's add a light.
How do you zoom like that? Or did you just press W?
No, right click,
Oh,
W.
Okay.
Well, with the...
I thought that you zoom especially on the sphere, and I was like, what's that hockey? Okay.
It's F.
Okay.
Yeah, F. You can focus. Okay, yeah.
I knew it. All right.
Yeah, that was not blueprints. That was just navigation. But okay.
Yeah.
If I press L and click, it's a point light that you did know. Or,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But if we wanted to have a lot of spheres with point lights, I would need to select them both.
Hold Alt and then just
Hold Alt, drag it, and it's duplicated. But if I wanted to change the color of the light, here in the details, we can change it here. We would change it to this color, and I would need to do the same here.
Yeah, but then if you get more and more, it's just very inconvenient.
It's just a pain in the butt. So here I have almost the same. It's a lot bigger, but if I just duplicate it, what I'm doing is creating here an instance of an actor. If it's an instance, then I'm not really messing around with this class. So if I change something in this instance, let's say I change the scale here, it's really not modifying this class. I'm just touching the instance. Right. Because these two actors are instances of the same class, if I made modifications on the base class, let's say, for example, let's change the color to an orange, and we save and compile.
Alter, yeah, it's gonna be saved for later, don't worry.
Oh yeah. And now we have that these two actors are following whatever I put inside the base class. So that's the main benefit of working with classes, with working with actors, that you can reuse. You can do the same in the level. You can even program the same, but you will need to duplicate a lot of stuff. Sometimes you only need it once, and it's fine to just do it. But once you do it twice, for sure you will do it more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In programming, we said there's a saying that whatever you repeat more than 2 or 3 times, it's gonna be repeated 100 times.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's have been like the first 15 minutes of this 15, yeah, something like that,
Phew.
of introductions. So I'm always gonna pause like every time, so because I know that whenever you're learning something, trying to keep attention for a long time is almost impossible. So if there isn't a question in the chat, or if you have any question, now's the time. I can read some.
Right now, I'm in this one.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Of
No,
course. Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. And again, as Ram said, if you guys have any question, just please type it, and well, he's gonna answer it. I'm just gonna check it. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's keep going then.
Yeah. Let me. Uh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, we need to fix some stuff in the stream elements.
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll fix it in the next pause.
Yeah, for sure. Let's keep going.
Okay, so let's continue. This was supposed to be a box, so let's make it a box. I don't really need a point light, so let's just delete it. This static mesh will be a box, and I should have a box now that I added the starter content. Yeah,
What if we type box?
Box. Center line, pivot. Oh, there are a lot of boxes.
Oh,
Sure.
there.
Which?
Oh no, that's controlling Rick. No, no. What if
Okay.
you just create a box?
Oh, we can create a box. There is a component specifically for a cube, and it's probably under cube. Yeah. So let's just delete the other one. Here's our cube. Now, this cube, you already know about materials. You already know how to assign materials. Here's the cube. Here's a material. We can, if we deselect it, now it's not painted. Quick overview: a material is like the paint you put on top of a static mesh.
Of course.
Okay, so we have this white box. Now, it's important to know about components because this is mostly how interactions will happen. If we wanted to create a collision, if we wanted to create an overlap with something, we will do it through a component. Now we need to go to what's next on my list. Oh, variables.
All right.
All right. So let's put us in the example or in the case that we want this box to indicate if something is open or closed. If it's open, we want it to be green. If it's closed, we want it to be red.
Okay.
Simple like that. Just because we were talking about materials, here you can create a material like this material. I'll just follow this, what you did, materials. And I'll call it just red. What? Okay. Red. And inside this material, I can double click here. Here's a base color. This base color has like 3 colors. We can even go color here, I believe.
Just hold 3 and left click. Beep. So this one is red.
Yep.
Okay. We don't want to modify it.
Yeah, we don't need to do anything.
I would love to spend hours just making it look really nice. Okay.
Red is fine.
Okay. So now you're fine for now.
Yeah. We need a green one, so we would create a material instance. I won't. I want it to be super easy, not to get too much wrapped up with materials. So let's just duplicate it, call it green. Okay, I'll call it green. Yep.
There we go.
And change it to green.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have two materials, red and green, and they work seemingly.
Okay.
It's a good idea to save everything. Here we have 4 unsaved. We can click it. We can save everything. I won't save the map just yet.
All right.
But just in case it crashes, at least we have our classes. Okay, so now we want to have it change whenever something is open or something is closed, or is active or not active, etc. We need to save this value if it's open or closed. That's the part where we are sending some input.
Okay. If it's open or if it's closed. All right.
Right, because if it's open, we will process it, we will change it to green, and then the return is that the cube is green. Simple as that. So now, what we need to do is save it somewhere so we can use it in any operation that we want to do.
All right.
And that's what variables are. A variable is just a little box where you say, oh, I'm going to store any value here. And because there can be a lot of values, numbers, text, whenever we create a variable here,
is open.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's a good name.
But the type, what type does it need to be?
Okay, so we have different types of variables. A Boolean type is a yes or no. It's either true or it's either false.
Then it's Boolean yes or yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. The other ones we can explore, but as a simple just overview, because I know you won't remember it.
Okay.
Integers, you already know them, are values of one whole number. Floats, if you need decimals, numbers also. Name and strings is for text. Text is also for text. Vectors, you already have worked with them, are just numbers, decimal numbers, but 3 of them.
And
in this case, it's 3.
Which one do I need to use if it's a curve?
If it's a curve, yeah, you need here type curve. And there are a lot of types of curve that you can use.
Okay, so it's not one of the base ones. All right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now, these type of variables that you can see here are the basic ones. You will be able to find them in any type of programming language. I mean, vectors, mostly yes. You can create your own type of variable to call it vector, and rotator also, and transforms. But for sure, you will find booleans, you will find integers, floats, text, strings, etc.
I do remember some of those because I studied informatics so long ago, but that's like a time that I have erased and I don't remember almost anything. So this is like going back there again.
It was a kind of nightmare.
Oh, and no worries. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the erasing tutorial. Thank you so much for your kind words. And yes, 24, well, maybe 36 hours stream. Woohoo! I have some drink here to help me keep awake.
Okay.
Okay, so we keep going.
The only thing that you also need to know about variables is that we can also create our own types of variables depending on what our needs are. If you needed like a text and then a number and then a vector, you can do it. And you put it your name and then you can search it here and it will appear.
Okay.
Okay. So, as you said before, oops.
No, Boolean. Yeah.
Boolean. And every variable in any type of language, it's always a good idea to set up an initial value.
Okay.
If it was C++, it will have the reason that you're assigning memory, the memory is dirty, you really don't know what value you're using. So it's always important to assign value. Here in the details panel, we don't have that just yet. It says please compile. And here is where compiling is super important. Compiling makes sure that whatever you have added is translated to a code that the machine can understand.
Okay.
So it knows what booleans is, but not exactly because this is called boolean, just because behind it the machine knows.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can change the default value. We can, right now it's false, we click it, true.
Okay, yeah, but okay, as default, I guess that we leave it unchecked, right?
Usually a boolean starts at false.
Okay.
Usually, but not necessarily always. It can depend on your type of application.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes you're expecting something to change to true, or sometimes you're expecting something to change to false.
Okay. And if I recall correctly, we also need to click here to expose it, was it? No, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes it so it appears here on the event graph, right? Or what exactly does this do? I just remember that you need to put it.
Okay. Not always, but in our case, we will put it.
Okay.
This is called instance editable. If you check this, it's the same as closing the eye here.
Okay.
What this does is that you can also edit this value in the instance. You remember what instances are?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so I won't put you on the spot. These are our instances, which means that if I click one of them, now I can see the value here. And I can change it. This can be false. The same as I scaled the previous one, but we can change the values of any variable that we expose.
Yeah, and if you change it, it does not get changed on the actor of the box.
Exactly. Here is true. And you can be certain of that because you will here find that this little arrow that can reset it back to the actor, the parent, well, the base class actor. So it resets to false.
Okay.
Now, if we didn't have this then when we compile, we won't be able to find it in our details for each instance.
Oh, okay, nice. All right.
So yeah, you got a little bit ahead of yourself, but we will use it.
Little bit.
Yeah, so now I believe it's time to go to. Okay. Yeah.
Everything is smooth so far. This stream may last only 1 hour.
Okay. I wanted to talk about naming variables. What you put here, it's alright. It will work. Now, it is not a good idea to try to reduce it. For example, just we call it O. We can understand that we put it O because open. If it's true, it's up. Easy. But let's say we go back to this project like a month, in a month and a half, for sure we won't know what O means, and we will need to check the code, what it's doing, and maybe we put a comment somewhere and we can remember.
Right. So it's okay if it's a long name.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's even better if it's a long name. I would call it not only is open, is object, or if we're going to talk about a door, we should specify it is door open.
Okay. And we compile it.
We compile it, and now it's fine. Now, the last thing I want to add as a quick tip, sometimes you will be creating variables left and right just to test stuff, and it's totally valid.
Why would I do that though?
Because sometimes you want to see how much time it took for something to work.
Okay, 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 okay.
or something you're debugging stuff and you create it just to put a name there.
It's for optimization, right?
No, it's just for. I mean, optimization is something important, but it's more important to make the code human readable. I
Okay,
mean, the
okay, okay.
machine will understand there's either way. So if I need 4 variables for something to be easier to understand, for sure I will create 4.
Okay.
I mean, for sure we can reuse variables and do stuff like that, but if it's make it more confusing, don't do it.
Okay.
But sometimes in the process of that, we can end up with variables that are not being used and can make really things confusing if they have some value or name similar, like, oh, is door maybe open?
All right.
I mean, it doesn't do anything, but it can make us confused. So it's a good idea to delete them.
Okay, yeah.
You can know that a variable is not being used if you just right click and find references. No results found. And you can easily assume that, oh, I can delete it. But this only means that it's not being used in this blueprint. So you can click here to find in all blueprints, and this will search all your blueprints. Be careful if it's a big project, because it can take a long while or it can crash.
Most certainly crash.
Yeah. The other way to do it is just go here in File. Oh, it was Edit. Yeah, Edit, delete and use variables.
All right.
And this will immediately delete them.
That's like clean graph in materials. Okay.
Yeah, almost like that. If I do that now, no value is being used, so
It's gonna erase everything.
yeah, I'm just going to do this get, which we will go back to it, just so I can delete the other ones very easily.
Okay.
Delete and use variables. They say, oh, these are the ones. Oh, I could have checked the other one.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. It's okay.
delete. And now clean.
Yeah.
Limpies it.
Limpies it.
Okay, so that's the starting part of variables. We still have 3 minutes. Any questions for this?
So far, it's pretty clear. I hate your mouse. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's keep going. It's great.
Okay, I'll
It's,
connect
it,
it.
it- it's pretty easy so far. I feel like a master.
Okay,
We should have a meter of confidence level in the stream.
oh, would be nice.
That would be really fun.
Yeah.
Like a heartbeat sensor.
Okay, so let's go back to the viewport. Let me reset this part.
That would actually be really fun.
A heart meter, yeah.
No. A confidence meter.
Ah! For the next one, ask Mauricio to make the graphic.
Okay.
Okay. Now we will be talking about flow control. Okay.
Flow control.
What is flow
that?
control? And I do need to go here again. Flow control is the way of taking decisions, of choosing what to do and what not to do. So, if in our example we said our game starts, I forgive my handwriting. We want to ask if we want to know if the cube needs to be green or red. And for that, we need to check that variable.
Right.
So, is open. Oh, I call it is door open. Then we need to decide what happens if it's, oh, whoops.
Pal, we don't have that specific video. And thank you, Yuga. I'm glad that you appreciate them.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all.
So if the door is open, make the cube green.
Green.
Green. And if it's not, make it
red.
Make it red. Once this decision is taken, we can forget about it.
All right.
So just to finish this little flowchart, which is actually an excellent tool that we may later on use it. And you can do it in a piece of paper. It's easier. When this is done, then we don't need to do anything, so it will end. Our logic ends here, so it doesn't matter what route we took, it ends there. This is what flow is referring to, the flow of the logic. Here we can make it go this way or that way. That's what flow control is all about. And we can find all the nodes for flow control if we right click and type flow.
Okay.
Yeah. These are
all that is branch. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you put just branch, you can see the
flow
category
control.
flow control.
Hold on, Ram. This is driving me crazy. Let me erase this. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I'll put it back to compile the results.
Okay. I could not stop looking at it.
Okay. Okay, so we just need to start doing stuff. What I want to do is make a quick example using this value. So what do we need to do first?
We need to we need to ask if the door is open, right?
Exactly. So that will mean it's our input, so we need to read something.
Read the input. Okay.
That's why here in the variable
we need to read it. Okay.
Exactly. Reading it is the same as getting it.
Okay. And setting it will be like putting a value, right?
Yeah, like writing it.
Okay, right now we just want to read it. All right.
Yeah. So we're getting the value inside this box.
And one question, why are we doing it on the event graph? What's the difference to construction? Because I see that there are three, right? Viewport. Okay, fine, viewport I can tell, but construction and event, why are they different? Something really quick. I guess that we can touch it later, but why are
we were going straight to that.
Okay.
The event graph will happen as soon as the game starts. The construction graph happens in the editor whenever we change a variable or a property inside this blueprint, inside this actor. And what's the difference? We will see it immediately when we try to get this value. We want to control the flow of it, so we will use that branch node, which is called branch. It's also called if. Yeah, it redirects it to branch.
One quick question, because I'm sure that I'm gonna forget it.
Yeah.
So you said that on the event graph, whatever we put there, it starts when the game starts, right?
Yeah.
So it like I'm kind of confused because if we create another blueprint or another actor and we also modify its event graph, it just starts again when the game starts, right?
Yeah.
So everything starts. And so like
right. So a good way to put it will be that.
How do you know where to put it?
What I mean whenever I say that this gets run whenever the game starts, it's not exactly like the game starts and this immediately runs. Is that it can run or it can run later.
Okay.
But from the start of the game onwards.
All right.
The construction script runs before the game starts.
Okay.
Whenever we're constructing, because you have seen this, right? In the level, in this open level, we can go to Windows, Word Partition Editor, and we can select stuff and unload it, right? Let's just unload this. This is almost like when the game starts running. Like whenever you click on the executable, there's nothing there. Everything needs to be created. Every actor that I put here needs to be recreated. Because right now I can see it because I'm in the editor, but if I was using a standalone type of game, there wouldn't be anything. Everything needs to be created from scratch. So the same way that this loads, and I don't know if I can, yeah. Depending on how fast your machine can go, we can load parts of the map.
Okay.
We really don't want the game to start before our stuff gets loaded. So this is the construction phase. So this is
Okay.
where the construction script runs.
Okay, I understand.
It's a lot larger. Like there's a lot of steps, but in simple terms, things get constructed, they appear in the level, and then the game starts, and then everything in the event graph can happen.
Okay. That's pretty clear. All right.
Okay. So now, let's go back to the flow control. We had this value that we want to read. Well, we have this variable that is holding a value that we want to read, and we have this branch node, also
Okay.
called as if node because it reads like if this happened, do this. If not, then
Okay.
yeah, else something else happened. In this case, if we want to do something with this is true, especially with booleans, the if node is all you will be using, we can just connect it.
Okay.
If this is false, then we can set the material to red, and if it's true, we can set the material to green. And you can do that part, so I can drink some water
Okay.
because I believe you know.
I'm gonna take this thing out. Driving me nuts. Wait, no, actually. Just give me a second. It was way more comfortable. Okay. So I guess that we set something, right? Like set material cube. Should this be it?
Yeah, it's
If
the
it's
same name.
If it's true. Okay, so cube. How does this know we want the cube though?
Because when you right click,
Look at this.
no, at the
cube.
No, at the blank space,
Okay.
we have this context sensitive. So whenever you try to set materials, it try to use the components that you already have added to your.
That's pretty handy. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So if there are a lot of components, for example, cube 1, cube 2, cube 3, it's a good idea to rename this. If you don't want to do it, you can get it as any other variable. You can just drag it, cube,
Right.
and from here set material, which is what I usually do because I don't really like to guess which component I want. It's like, oh, I want this component, let's use that component.
Yeah, especially since when it's gonna be more advanced, you're gonna have many things on the component thingy, right?
Depending on what you need. If it's a car, then you may need the components for the tires, the body, the collisions.
Okay, I get it. So we get this, and if it's here, just gonna copy it. Target, and put it here. I'm pretty sure that you got angry at the way I set it up.
Don't worry. I'm super open right now. I can tolerate any type of
that looked like a mess, really. Okay, red. And this element X index, we don't care about it right now, right? Access to the material. Okay, fine.
No, that has to do with the actual static mesh and how the materials are created and their IDs, but it's fine like this.
Okay, but so now we have this middle part, but we need to end it, right? How do we end it?
If you remember our flow chart,
how do you move here? Okay. Yeah. Make it green. How do we end?
Yeah, but we're not doing anything at the end, so we really don't need to add it.
Oh, okay. So we don't need to add anything here. We just leave it there.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, okay.
Now
Okay.
we have this piece of logic that can change the material.
I compile it. Mm-hmm.
But if we go to our game and search for the, well, let me just delete this
Yeah,
stuff
please delete that.
and press F. If we go to our game,
Mm-hmm.
the door is open, we play, stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
We change the value and, oh, please don't crash.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Let's put it to true, play, and still nothing happens.
Okay, nothing is happening.
Why is that? Because our piece of logic,
It's not hooked here, right?
exactly. So we need to use events or functions. So the way we trigger stuff usually is through something called events.
Mm-hmm.
All the red nodes that you can see there,
Mm-hmm.
that are like starting points, are the events.
Right.
Right. So the most common ones are the begin play
And tick,
and the tick.
which is on every frame rate, right? On every frame.
Yeah, on every frame.
Okay, and this one, actor overlap.
If the actor had any type of collision, if any of the components overlap something, that gets triggered. But you can delete it because for now we won't be using it.
Okay. Well, I guess we did it. So this is on begin play.
Yeah.
All right, and I compile it.
Yes.
So here, let's go play, and oh, it's because we ticked it. All right, so it is working.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe we can create another level.
It's taking a little bit long to
Yeah.
close. That's scary. I'm gonna save.
Yeah. Let's just create another level.
A smaller one, maybe empty or basic.
Yeah. Empty open world.
We don't save.
We don't save it. Let's just put the.
Let's put some lights.
Yeah. Use the environment light mixer.
Where was it here? Window.
Yeah.
Environment light mixer. This one, and we just click on every single one. Okay. And
Yeah.
do we want a floor?
Yeah, you can drag and drop.
Okay, we want the floor then. Basic, no, shapes. Plane. And let's. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe remove the basic shape material just so we have something we can see the grid.
Okay, so I'm gonna drag our box in here.
Yep. And drag two boxes, duplicate that one. Yeah.
There we go.
And now make one of them go green.
Okay, so this is open and this is not open. We click play and yep.
Right.
Okay, nice.
Now,
let me save that.
Yeah. Save the map.
Map. Okay.
Now, let's say that you don't want to wait for the game to be played for this to change colors.
Mm-hmm.
Where should you put it?
So if I put it in here, well, my reasoning says there's just two options. So this one is gonna work.
But remember, if we want something to do stuff before the game starts.
Oh, on the construction script.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
I can just copy everything and bring it here.
Copy everything. Don't delete it. Just copy it and put it there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
It won't matter that much if we are duplicating code right now. So.
Okay.
So that's the main difference between the construction and the event graph.
The event, okay.
And if you change the value of the isDoor open in anyone, it will trigger immediately because the construction script always runs whenever one of these properties in the details panel gets changed.
Okay.
So it's if you are creating tools for artists, which you will probably maybe do some in some part, then for sure.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Now, if we press play and let's just let's press play and let me detach so I can. Right now the game is playing. If I click on some actor, I still get access to this.
Right.
But if I change it, oh, it works.
It works because on the blueprint, on the event tick, it's still put there.
You
right?
put it on the tick?
Yeah, I think.
No, it's in the begin play.
Oh, all right.
Well, I didn't expect it to work actually. Okay, so I'll introduce you to another node which is very useful in debugging. It's called the delay node.
Delay.
Which lets us do stuff after a certain time.
Okay.
So if we type delay, there's a delay. We can say how much time, let's say 1 second. These are seconds. And after this, we want to change the value of the door is open. So after 1 second, it changed. So we need to write on top of it.
And we set it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if I put it here to true, everything will be set up to true. Which means that here in my level, which I don't know why it got darker.
We are not viewing the...
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll load everything then.
That's weird.
Okay, let's just roll with it. I'll just create a map, a normal map then. I don't think
That's pretty weird. Well,
yeah, it's like it was not created. I'll just create a normal map then. Let me just...
Okay.
Basic level.
Don't save it.
No, don't save it. Okay. We really don't want to take too much time with that stuff. Okay. So this is still working. And now if we use that delay, both of them will change to green. But maybe we want to toggle them. So we can do stuff when assigning variables on a dynamic type of way. Like we can get the variable. And again, we can use an if. If this is true, we put it to false. If this is false, we put it to true. Does it make sense?
Again?
So what we're doing here is after 1 second, I'm going to connect it. I'll connect it just now. I'll use a sequence node to organize stuff. So here, sequence. It's another node useful for flow control because you can define which part you want to run first. So first I want to run this delay, and then immediately after, I'll run this part.
Okay.
This doesn't mean that this second part is waiting for this delay. Only whatever is after the delay, this part, is waiting for this second to complete. But this will get run immediately. Okay?
All right.
Just so it makes sense and it's easier to understand, I'll change the order. And I'll put my delay here. So after this, what we want to do is, after 1 second, we want to make the open door closed, and if it's closed, we want to make it open.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to control the flow by doing an if, a branch. And if this is true, it's open, it will go to true. And we are setting the value to false.
Right. Okay.
And if it is false, then this is setting the value to true.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I get it.
Let's see if it works. Which I don't really know at this point. 1 second passed and nothing happened. Which should be the normal type of response, because the code that was changing ran before this. So here we're assigning the material, but here we're changing the value 1 second after that. So the important part here is the timing of stuff. Something may not work because you did it before something other happened.
Okay.
So a quick way to fix it will be here. You use the tick for this. Like that.
Okay.
Now, why does this works? Or why it should work? The tick runs every frame.
Right.
So every frame is checking, oh, is the door open? No. Then red. The door open? No, red. Door open? No, red. Yes, green. If this was here, this is the begin play, only gets run once when the game starts.
Right.
So if we press play, after 1 second, we see that they change colors.
Okay, yeah.
Now, this only runs if I change a property like I did before, but in the editor. Otherwise, it won't work like during gameplay. So the construction is always for before the game starts. Okay. Now, even though this is a solution, it's a terrible solution. Because every frame we're checking if a value changed or not. So this is a code that is being reused even though nothing happened.
That's a lot of memory, right? Supposedly.
I mean, it can be. Right now, it's nothing. You can do this type of solution in many blueprints and it will be fine. But it will take to maybe 1 month in development and the project gets big and it starts impacting. So, I mean, you will try to avoid it as much as you can. Anything inside the tick must be really important or must be a good reason to be inside it. Otherwise, we are always guided by events. Events usually gets run when something specific happened, like, oh, you changed the variable, or you changed, you collided with something. You're not checking every frame for this event to happen. That's why they are called events.
Okay.
So, if we have this running every time that we want to change, this is something that we are not only doing here, but we're also doing in this construction script. So this is what is called code duplication, which is not really a good idea, because if you want to change this, oh, I have a orange type of material, you need to change it here. You need to change it here also. Otherwise, sometimes it will be green, sometimes it will be orange, and you would not have any idea of knowing, oh, that surprised me, that should be orange, not green. So remember when we created two actors here, duplicated them, change the light color, and then we need, it's the same thing. We need to create something that can be reused.
Okay.
And those are called custom events or functions.
Custom event or function, okay.
Okay, so this is an event, this is another event. We can create our own events. Custom event. a custom event is a way of encapsulating or grouping functionality. For example, if I want to update the material color, then I could just put this here. And use it here.
Update material. Oh, okay.
Because this is calling this part.
Okay, I see.
And it would be a really good idea if any code that was being duplicated, we also change it to update material color.
Okay.
Now, if you want to know what exactly is update material color, double click it, you will find it. Very easy.
Okay, it's like a material function. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have done a big change, but if we press play, it's the same thing. It's working. So we know that we didn't mess up anything. Now, the same as this one, this is an event, custom event. This doesn't get run. You don't execute any of this until you call it, like I'm calling it here. Right, so there's also functions that, and you can find it here. And here in graph, in events, here's my update material color event.
Okay.
So we can create a function, which is the same stuff, like, function, let's call it update material color function. And we can put the same code there, just as a learning experience.
All right.
All right. And what do you think it will happen when I do this?
Well, it's gonna appear once we press play, right? It's an event graph.
Yep. So will it change or it's the same?
Once we press play, it changes.
No, right, but we know the colors change, but does it change from our behavior before? I mean, do you think something different will happen or not? It's the same code in both sides.
It's gonna be the same.
Yes. It's the same.
Right.
So why do they exist? Like, why do I need two types of things to encapsulate this?
It's more ordered, right? So you don't get lost in all of that.
Right. The encapsulation is because of that, because of order. And really cute.
It's like a material, right? You just put it there and it works.
Yeah. Every node inside a material, just so you can. What's a node? Maybe some letter.
That's L and click.
This is a function.
Okay.
It's not an event. It's a function. Why? Because this lerp gives you an output. Events can't give you output. Why? Because an event, you can add this type of nodes, delay nodes. For example, I can put a delay node here. It's fine. If I try to copy and paste that to my function, I can't. It will show up a message. Now, why is this important? It's because functions gets run and immediately finish the same frame they are called. That's the magic of functions, that you know that, I'm calling this function and it will run immediately.
So what you could do is, like, for example, go here on the event graph, call your function, and in here put the delay, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But we can never put it inside. It's like, here I'll use a lerp node, but I'll receive the result like in 1 second. Like, wouldn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because of that, functions can return values like this one. So here, in my function, I'll click here. Here or in the name is fine also. You can have inputs and outputs. And you will need to decide what happens with the outputs if needed, right? We can always return like, oh, true, just for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it cannot return anything. But what we learned before here, like, oh, input processing output, this is what in any programming language you will find a functions. Functions are like the base of most of the stuff.
All right.
Because it's a game and we have a representation, a 3D representation or a visual representation, we have events so we can maybe, oh, wait sometime, then change a color, wait sometime, change a value, stuff like that. Like it can be more interactive. Like it's not uh, like a software, like you need to do something and that something needs to be correct. For example, if you have a calculator, you put 1 plus 1, you want the result 2 immediately.
Mm-hmm.
A game is not like that. If you wanted a correct result for the game, is you start the game and immediately you win the game. So because there's an in-between, we can have the use of these functions to do stuff
Okay.
depending on this. Now, the quick way to create this, just as a quick tip, if you don't use it later, I won't mind, you can just select nodes, right click it, and collapse nodes to function,
Mm-hmm.
collapse nodes to another event, I believe is this one. But the function usually is the one that we use.
Okay.
So now, you now know what events are, you now know what functions are. We're not gonna use the function in this case. We're not gonna use the tick because it's a waste of resources. We don't need that delay. And this is fine. We do want to change the color, maybe. And also, yeah, let's leave it like this. Let's compile. Right now, it shouldn't be able to change because we are not checking every tick, right?
Right.
We will need to call this event whenever the value changes, which is here. So
Okay. Hold on. So it has a delay, then branch condition. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. And we need to put this event, we call it at the end of each one of those, right?
yeah, you can do it.
Okay. So how do we call it though? Update event. So it should be something with get, right? Get event? No.
You just need to call it the same name
Oh,
of the
right.
event.
Update material color.
Yep.
It's not the function, it's the normal one. Mm-hmm. And same for this one. And depending on what is ticked here, it just automatically changes here, right? Branches are open. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the order of execution. And that's the main point of flow control. The order really matters. It's
Okay.
like trying to go through a door, but you don't know if the door is open or closed. If it's closed, you will get your face stamped on the door. If it's open, then you can go through the door.
Right. And this target, it does not need to be set, right? Or yeah, we need to put the cube here.
All right. So we are already inside the actor that has that update material color.
Right. If we were doing this on another blueprint, we will need to put here the target.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that will be the basics of blueprint communication. So whenever some things happen in some other blueprint, stuff happen here also.
Okay, so you press play.
Yeah,
Okay.
it works.
Yeah, it works.
And we're not checking every tick. Like, oh, something happened, something happened, something happened. No. It's like whenever it happens, then it gets changed.
Okay, so it still has the delay. I can just put this here, right?
Yeah, but now you're yeah. Otherwise, you can delete the sequence node if you want.
Yeah, there's just one. Okay. Okay, just for my peace of mind. Okay, so again, flip. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's continue. This is clear.
See? Yeah, super clear. Let's see if there's any question. Let's make a little break.
Yeah, the stream is gonna be available after for sure. And thank you, Thiago, for the hugs. Salute from Peru. Uh, Michael, does anyone else have Unreal Engine constantly refuse to save the active map due to auto maps? No clue. Hasn't happened to me.
Refuse to save the auto. No, hasn't happened to me either.
And Atlem Vision tutorial, it's noted. It's noted. Final Fantasy super fun for sure. I also love it. Although, well, I really liked it at the start, and then when it was supposed to get more interesting near the end, I just stopped playing it. It just happened. I don't know. Maybe it lacked something, but I really love the combat. Yeah, fun game. And this question here, would be great if you could also say some words during this stream, maybe about right naming style, project structuring, and keeping content hierarchy clear. Are we gonna touch that?
I mean, if you want to touch that, we can. We have been talking a lot about that actually.
Yeah, right.
Especially, yeah, you can confess your sins about naming stuff like
That was a really long time ago.
no, no.
Yeah, that's 5 years ago.
I have found like two times new material 1 and new material 2 in our project.
That may be a casualty.
No, it's not.
Well, I think that we can keep going.
Yeah, but about the project stuff. Oh, I want to change some things. Yeah.
Okay.
About the name structure is very important. I mean, there is really no right or wrong. It's just a matter of choosing what works with whatever you are doing. For example, if you enter a project that already has a naming convention or a project structure, it's best to follow it. It's better to have like a bad one than not have it at all. If you're starting a new project, then what I can recommend, and I can search for it here also. There is a there's a it's called a naming conventions from Alar. Let me see if I can here. It's called a style guide, and I will link it in the chat. Let me search the chat. Here it is. Can I put at?
Already?
And oh, it's a Russian name. I won't be able to. Okay, I'll copy paste it. Here it is. Hopefully it gets to you safely. That's a style guide that I've been using yeah, quite a lot. I have modified it to my preferences, but thus far it has been like a good starting point, because creating your own style guide can be very time consuming. Yep.
And Schmex, well, I also had a bad time transitioning from Cascade to Niagara, but quite honestly, it took me maybe a couple of weeks to finally grasp it, at least as good as I could do Niagara. So you should do it for sure. It's just, you're gonna get used. Don't worry, just don't be scared. It may be scary at first when you first look at it, but you're fine. You're fine. And Baymax, we are working on a game. It's an action turn-based game. It's gonna be pretty interesting. We are trying to put more videos on that. We have actually put two videos that share a little bit, right?
One about the game and one about the design of it. You can
So
call it.
we're gonna continue doing it as we keep advancing, but it's been a lot of fun to develop it. We are quite thrilled. Okay, I think we can keep going.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
awake.
You're refreshed.
Oh man. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
we can switch
Yes.
that
Yeah.
one.
Now, just so we are more fast, I will activate the plugin that will.
More fast.
Yeah, you will see. You will see what I'm talking about. You always want to find tools that can suit your project. Edit plugins. Blueprint Assist.
Shkemets, if you want, well, we have a really beginner Niagara tutorial on our channel. I give you textures and everything. You should check it out. I had a lot of fun making that one. I got really slow, and I think the outcome was pretty fun. You definitely can do it. Okay.
It's loading. Don't worry.
Oh, you activated a plugin.
Yeah.
What plugin
I mean,
was that?
this plugin is not mandatory. It's called Blueprint Assist. If you don't have it in your machine, I will buy it for you, but not for the stream, but for Guillermo. Para Guillermito.
Ay.
What it does, you click on out, you press F, it's formatted, makes stuff a lot. Yeah, makes stuff a lot easier to read.
Does it work on materials too? No, right? It's just blueprints.
I believe it does, but maybe you don't like the way it arranges stuff. And also here, because it's the same node, if you didn't need to do stuff different here, you can just do it like this. It will work the same, but I will leave it like this in case we need to do stuff here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you remember the difference between functions and events?
Yes, a function is like a grouping of instructions, right? That you can call as an instance, let's say,
Yeah.
right? And event is what can happen when the game starts or on every tick as you see fit.
But okay, that's the construction script and events.
Okay.
Yeah, construction scripts happen in the construction phase before the game.
Yeah.
Event graph, game starts and you can do anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so events and functions are events, this red stuff, and functions, we can create them like that. They are very similar. This one can return outputs, the events can't.
Oh, okay.
Just to remind, because
that's the better answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So functions can't have outputs. Okay.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I'll just give it as a quick tip in case someone else is watching the video. Maybe it won't make sense to you just yet. Functions have the this terminology whenever we call, and you will find it here, a pure function. A pure function never sets value, never writes value, just processes stuff and gives an output.
Okay.
So here I'm setting values. So this is not this should not be a pure function.
Hold on, this is bothering me quite a lot.
So why would you want a pure function? Because any function needs to be run. But if you are only getting a value or like adding some stuff, you can put it as a pure. And now you don't need that execution pin. Right?
All right.
This one, you won't see the utility in this just yet, but eventually when it happens, the stream ends. No.
In a couple
No,
of
no.
hours.
Okay, so that's a benefit of the functions. The benefits of the events is that you can run them in the editor, which you have here. You select an event called in editor.
All right.
This means that, and I will compile it. I need to open my level, recent level, to map. If I click, you remember that we have this variable. Now we have an update material color.
Okay, why do we have that update material color?
Because we can now run this event in the editor.
Oh, calling it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is very useful whenever you need to update some values inside it. There are specific types of functionality that will be that you will be able to take advantage of. In our case, this really doesn't matter because our code already updates the value in the construction script. But if we didn't have this, let's compile it. Let's say that this is should be green, update it, and now it's refreshed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it something like for debugging, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's usually for tools inside Unreal. It's especially useful. Oh, you want to
okay.
spawn, I don't know, hundreds of these. Oh, let's spawn it. Bloop.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. That's the benefits of both also that I just want to throw in before moving to the next
Okay.
part.
Let's hack the. No. Keep going. Keep going.
What?
I was gonna say, yeah. Let's plug it in.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. So now here I will auto formatting always. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. So now we will pass to another part. Add stream marker.
What is that?
And add. Just in case.
Oh no, yes.
Oh. No, that's oh, some bugs are getting it. Wait. Okay.
Please give us 1 second. I hate these bugs. Just 1 second, please. I have a bug panic. Thank you, Lord.
Lo bajo. Vale. No, muere calor.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay. We will die from heat here in Latin America.
Well, maybe you're not used to it, but I'm used to living around mosquitoes, and I only had two options: just wrap myself in a really thick feather sheet and die of heat, or be beaten. And I chose to wrap myself for hours. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm used.
Yeah.
I can stand this heat.
It's a pity we didn't have the camera open for that part, but yeah, the bug appeared out of nowhere.
And he was the first of hundreds, so luckily we closed everything.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so now what we will do is start getting to gameplay stuff.
All right.
We have this box that works really well, but what I want to do now is create a door, and whenever you... What's that? Okay.
Just keep going.
Don't worry. Okay. So we will have a pressure plate. You step on it, the door opens. As simple as that. This is called blueprint communications because we need to create a blueprint for the door, and we need to create a blueprint for the pressure plate. And make stuff happen when something happens with the pressure plate. So,
right.
You can go ahead and create the...
All right. So
create the pressure plate.
And blueprint class, this should be an actor. And let's say VP underscore pressure plate, and we enter.
Yes. Now.
And I'm gonna make this be a cube.
Yeah.
And I wanna scale it to 0.3. Okay, 0.2. And yeah, maybe 1.5, 1.5. Okay, this is a pressure plate.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we want something to happen when we overlap on top of it. I don't really want to use like collision, like, oh, you touch this, because touching stuff can trigger more than once, and we only want to know if, oh, overlapped or end overlapped, right?
Okay.
There's a component for that. So try to add in the component list one that it's called box overlap.
On the variables? Oh, okay, okay.
The components. Oh, excuse me. Just put box. It was box collision.
Box collision.
Yep, that's it.
So instead of putting like collision here, right? Actor begin overlap, we just do it here, right?
Oh, right. So
is that so?
This actor begin overlap will check all the components inside them and see if a overlap happened. So
between them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this doesn't work. Okay.
It will work.
Okay.
Right. So go to the viewport just so you can see what did you add it.
Okay, and we need to.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is good enough.
Yeah, perfect.
Even if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, what do you know about collisions?
Well, no.
Okay.
All right.
Every component can have collisions. Or will have, unless they are too abstract, like maybe a light.
All right.
But most of them do have collision. And I have my mouse here. I don't know why. Okay. So here, I'll put my mouse here. To search if a component has collisions, you just need to, in the details panel, search for collision. And if it has a category, you can see the default preset that this has.
Hold on around. You weren't lying. This is really hot.
I told you.
Okay, let's open it up a little bit at least.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. Okay. Maybe, hopefully. No, it's so hot. Oh my god. Okay. Now you can keep going.
Okay. So to check the collisions, here, in any component, you will, here in the details panel, search for the collision category. To see what's the default used, here you can see overlap all dynamic.
Okay.
In the case of a cube and most of the static meshes, here the cube, here in collisions, collision, this one blocks all. When it says that dynamic, it means stuff that can move around the map. Static is stuff that can't move, like walls.
Okay.
Now, this means that if we try to use it right now in our game, and we press play, try going towards the pressure plate. You will see that it's like a bump.
Claro, I cannot go through it. Yes.
Yeah. So this means that the overlap, well, is not blocking you, but the other thing, it is blocked. We don't really need to get into the specifics of all the presets and the channels that are there. Just by knowing, oh, block all dynamic, it will block you. Overlap all dynamic, it will overlap.
And if we put pound, it only works with our character, right?
Yeah, it will block pounds.
Okay.
Well, not even that. It will block what a pound will block.
All right. So
Yeah,
block
yeah,
all dynamic.
yeah, yeah. Don't get too hung up about it here. It's just it's block all dynamic, overlap all dynamic.
Okay.
Now, because this one has an overlap all dynamic, whenever any component, which this one is also a component, but it's just a scale, and it defines the rotation and the translation here in the world. This is that default scene root.
Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't have a collision. This one has but blocks it. This one has but overlaps it. So this can be executed. If I had another type of these boxes, if either one of them gets overlapped, this gets run. Sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. If you only want this component to overlap, to know when it was overlapped, you can just right click, add event, and on component begin overlap, which is different and gives you a lot more information on what's happening with that overlap.
So this happens as soon as something overlaps on this, right?
Yes.
And here we have many conditions that we can place
That's
to make it
just
more specific.
This is just the output values of this event, or well, the inputs for whatever we are going to do.
Okay, and why are we using this one and not this one? I kind of wandered off for a little bit.
Okay. Let's say we have another box. We can duplicate it. If this box also overlaps, it will run this one. If this one overlaps, it will run the actor begin overlap. If you wanted one specific one, let's say this box, because I don't know, maybe my box 1 is at the side, and I want to know, oh, you overlap the right one or the left one, then for sure we will need to do right click at event and overlap. So this one gets in charge of every overlapping inside this actor.
Oh, so
every component.
it cannot discern between left or right.
Yeah. That's why here I only know the information on who overlapped it, but I don't have this information on the component. I don't have the information of the other component. Like, if we needed more specific stuff, we will use this. But we can easily use the one that it was already here. Now, the easiest way to check stuff in code is by writing messages in the screen.
Oh, I've seen that sometimes you I give me a test level and there are some little messages.
Yeah.
And I cannot erase them.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but now you will know how to find them.
Okay.
They're called print string, which print, you just are putting something in the
print string.
Yeah, that's the one. And a string is a type of variable, which is text. Because let's say the word home is like HOME, is a string of characters. That's a string.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so now press play and see if that string
appears
whenever you overlap it.
I understand. But okay, it doesn't appear here because it's only on the blueprint of the pressure plate. Okay.
Right. You would need to add another box collision, so well, if you want to print stuff, if you want to do something with it. So
okay. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we said that the components are what define the actor. The actor is just a collection of components.
Okay.
And the logic that we give those components are what makes the actual gameplay.
All right.
So now we have like the collision working. And just like there's a begin overlap, there's an end overlap. You won't find it here, like it's not like just gray out like these ones.
We must cut it, right?
You can call it, yes. Yeah, but it's an event. An event never has
Oh.
an yeah.
But okay. It's here.
Yep.
Actor end overlap.
Yeah, and you can delete that
We erase
parent.
this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
right?
We don't need to. Yeah, so
Okay.
now you can have a new text to show that you
Okay.
can, yeah.
Oh,
Now,
they're both triggering, I think. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because your box overlap was too small in the C value, that's why sometimes you bounce and it gets triggered, and the trigger that you.
Let's make it a little bit bigger then,
Yep.
just for the sake of. Okay. But yeah, I get it. Even if this says the contrary, I get it. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Oh.
Oh, I'm saying. No, let's go to the question after this.
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, this is basically the pressure plates. The only thing I need to know is if I'm pressuring, if I'm on top of it or if I'm outside of it. Yeah, so here we would need to do something like open a door, but we don't have any door, so we need to proceed to the door. So you can create another
Another
actor.
actor.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I will read the chat while you do it.
Actor. This is a door. We wanna add cube. Door.
There's a question is 5 point. Oh, there's a mesh called door.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I imported one. Yeah. No. Oh, here in the static mesh, you can change it.
Right.
Yeah, just type door, and there's a door and a door frame.
Wow.
Yeah, and you just need to reset the scale.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can add another.
A door frame, right?
Yeah.
So you can just add anything. And this one is frame. Any, right? Door frame.
Yeah, and make it fit.
Yeah, we're gonna adjust it soon.
Yeah, so there was a question about 5.1. I mean, it's not that different. The new stuff is the enhanced input has become like mandatory. Is there any negative parts on sorting collision by other actor tag? No, not really. Like, not anything game breaking, really. If it's working for you, then using tags is actually a really good way to controlling who am I colliding with if you have some unique actors. And you can reset the shape material. The white stuff, the here.
Oh, here? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, on both.
Yeah. Because you used base instead of the empty static mesh, you put a sphere which already had that material.
Right.
The ID. Yeah. So it was because of it.
Okay, nice.
Okay. You have created the door, so we need to open it.
So we're here. I'm gonna go on the event graph because it's gonna happen not before but during the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it does not happen on the gameplay. It happens on the overlap.
But it doesn't happen on this overlap. It will happen on the pressure plate overlap. So for now,
we create a overlap and begin overlap. This one, right?
Okay.
No, it's not this one.
If you use events here, right now the events that you have doesn't really they are not useful for what we're trying to do.
Okay.
We're trying to open this door whenever that pressure plate gets overlapped.
Oh, so it's here.
Yeah,
We need to put it here.
yeah. But the door needs to know, like, what does it mean for me to be open? So we first need to take care on opening the door.
Okay, hold on. So the door needs to know when it's open. So we need to do something similar to what we did with the colors, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not on begin, it's on tick, right?
No, because we don't really want to check every time, like every frame, if the door needs to be open.
So it's on begin, but with conditions, right? It does not happen automatically. Okay.
No, that's not it either. Like, don't worry. Whenever you don't find an event that works for you, you create one.
Custom
Yeah,
event.
that's it.
Okay, so we can say that this is door open.
Yeah. And you will also need one to,
We
well,
need to
close
create
it.
a variable, right? A boolean.
Yeah, yeah. To track it.
This door open. We need to put it here. We need to get it. We expose it.
Okay, so in this case, our event will tell if we want the door to open or not. So instead of getting a value, we know that we are telling the door to open. So we just need to set the value to open.
Okay. Okay. So we put it here, and it is we are setting it.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, how do I do this? This is a custom event. All right. So we need to read the information, right? That's the first step.
Yeah, the input part is being the, oh, okay. Let's do a little flowchart so it is easier to understand.
It's exactly that one, right? That's door.
It is, but it isn't at the same time.
Okay.
Because the way this flowchart start is we need to press the pressure plate. So it will be pressure plate overlap. If
Okay.
it's no, nothing happened. It ends here. If it's yes, then we tell the door to open. Tell door to open. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. It kind of bugs me that it is different from this one. Left was
Oh, this part.
yes.
Okay, so I'm not doing it like this because the input is not inside the same blueprint.
No. I just meant that on the left one, yes is on the left and right on the.
Ah, okay. No, but
It's whatever.
even here, if it's no, it shouldn't end. Actually, it should close. So
Okay.
I'll just put close door. Here you will realize that this one is a class, pressure plate. This one is another actor. Well, this is an actor, this is another actor. So the door really doesn't have this part, the yes or no part. The door only needs to know what to do when it should be open and when it should be closed.
All right.
So in our case, just so we put a clear understanding at the start, here we have door open, here we have door close. Or well, it should be better if we call it close the door, because it's an order. Someone else is telling us like we should open or we should close the door.
Okay.
Now, what does it mean to be open? We can just here in our viewport see that this component, we can rotate it, and this should be open, or maybe like this, which is 90.
90 on C.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for this to be open, we can change this.
And we make a like a set transform?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we want to keep track if the door is open or not. So here we're setting up. This door is now open.
Okay.
If we are closing it, we are setting it up. We're updating the values. Okay.
Okay. So now we need to, if the door is open, we need to open it, right? With set transform?
Yeah. You can use set transform. If we are only changing the rotation, you can use set rotation.
Okay, this is rotation, so
Yeah,
we can do it set rotation.
Because the transform will change the location,
Set
rotation,
actor.
and the scale.
So we put this first, and then, and why this before this one?
Right now we're not using really the is door open. We could even delete it, but it's just in case. It's a good idea to update the value that is tracking if it's the door is open or closed.
Right.
Let's do an example. If I ask the door, are you open? If we didn't have that variable, we would need to check the rotations. But if it's a different kind of door that works with another type of rotation, then it's not the same.
Okay.
So this is just a variable to keep track of if the door is open or not.
Okay, so in this case, since we are already inside this actor, we don't really need this door, do we? We need a... Oh, we do, because if we move this rotation, both of these move, right?
Yes.
The door and the frame. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
So we can't use set actor location because what you have here is a component. The door is a component, but the target of this one is an actor. The actor is the collection of all the components.
Set component rotation.
Oh, it's just from the door, just drag and drop set rotation. Now you face the relative rotation and the world rotation. It's very similar to the particle stuff.
It has to be world then. Set world rotation. Or can you explain me the relative and the world here?
Let's say that our door. Oh, let me.
Because on particles I always go local. Otherwise it goes crazy.
Exactly. Here too. Here the door, we set it up here. Everything here is relative. Because it is relative to whatever is happening here in this blueprint editor.
Okay.
If we had it on the map, if you change like 90 degrees, if in this position it will work. Because 90 is this.
All right.
But if this was the rotation, then the door will be stuck here equally.
Right.
So yeah, whenever you're rotating stuff inside a blueprint, you usually want the relative one.
Okay.
It's the locals.
Okay. So rotation. No. Set rotation. And we want the relative rotation.
Yep.
We don't want this one because it's not an actor.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. What was the shortcut for the
F?
F. Okay. Just to know. So this was C.
Yeah.
90.
Oh, if you want another, just to know, let me just break this link. With any node selected, you put it near and press Q.
Ooh.
No, it's already connected.
Cool. Okay, nice.
Now, because this is an event, you can try it out by clicking on the event, putting it called in editor, and see if the door opens or not.
On the event?
Yeah, and in the details panel.
Call in a... Oh, okay.
Compile it. You will now have the button. Open the door. And it works. Now...
It does not close and there is no translation either.
No, we will polish the door later. Don't worry. Now, create the closed door.
Okay. So close door, here, door, and this is 0. Okay. So we should be putting something that after this one, no. I don't know what I'm talking. Oh,
No, it's fine like this.
okay. So this should work. Okay. And now is our open? No. Oh, oh, there. Oh, we only have open door.
Yeah.
So we need to here, calling editor, compile.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now you can see here in the isDoor_open that this value gets updated. Open the door. No, open the door. Close the door.
Oh,
It's updated.
yeah, I can
So
see it.
we really don't need isDoor_open to be exposed. We just want the functions that can modify the value.
Okay, so
Yeah, you can close it side.
okay, I see it.
Yeah, so now we're making sure that the function works. If it's working, then we only need to connect the pressure plate and the door.
Wait, something is bugging me. It
Okay.
should be open door first and then close after.
Oh no,
How do
you're
I change?
you can't. You are
That sucks because it's by default closed. So okay, okay. Okay.
yeah. I'm with C++. You can create. You could also create categories and organize it, but yeah.
Okay. We're fine right now. All right.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Won't kill you.
Okay. No. I'm good.
Okay. Now that we have the open and closing part,
Mhm.
we just need to connect both actors.
Okay.
Okay, so
I go on pressure plate.
wait.
Mm.
This is where I need to explain a little bit
Oh,
about
okay.
blueprint communications.
Mhm.
So whenever you want blueprints to talk to each other, and don't get distracted, this is important.
Okay.
We have the pressure plate, we have the door. A message needs to be sent. So there's a sender, there's a receiver, and there's a message. In this case, it's very important to know who is sending the message. The door is not sending the message because we're not overlapping the door and then opening it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pressure plates that it's telling the door, just like in our flowchart before. Like it's the pressure plate that has that power. So the message is in this direction. Because the message is the pressure plate is the sender. It needs to know who is sending, to whom is sending the message.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, we need a reference. A reference will be a variable that is holding the location of my door. Not exactly the location in the world, the location in the memory. So it's just a way of like a phone number to the door, a direct communication.
Okay.
Okay, so in the pressure plate, I need a variable that will hold this reference. So let's do that. Go to the pressure plate and create a variable with the type door.
Just name door?
Door reference
Okay, and this cannot be a boolean, right?
right.
It integer or a byte?
No, it's a door. Type door.
Type door.
There it is.
Oh.
Our variables can be referenced, can be from the type from any class that exists inside Unreal.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Okay. All right.
Excellent. Now, depending on the pressure plate, it can activate another type of door. We don't want all pressure plate to activate the same door. So we need to change it by instance, which you already know how to do.
Okay, hold on.
like the check of is open or not.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, right. Okay. For a second, I got scared. Okay.
Yeah. Now compile,
Compile it.
and let's go back to our level. Now, our pressure plate, our pressure plate
Mm-hmm.
has now this door reference, and we need to fill it.
Okay.
There it is.
VP door.
Now try it.
We tried like this?
Yeah. Oh, but nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
We need to send a message. We do have the variable, but we don't have the message yet. I skipped the part. Go back to the pressure plate, and now you can replace that print string,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to open the door.
But I still wanted to say mount up, so can we leave it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when it overlaps, we want to
That's end overlap. Yeah, that's begin overlap. Yeah.
oh, we have
Yeah.
it.
We have it backwards.
Okay, no. Cannot let that go. Okay. Okay. And I press F. Aha. Perfect. So I want to get the door reference here, right?
Yeah. Just like any other variable.
And I want to get it.
Yep.
Now I want to okay, hold on. So this is the pressure plate. When we step on it, I want this to send a message to the door so it moves, right?
Yes.
So we need to call in open the door,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And the
Now.
stream.
No, because that's a yeah. Type open the door there.
Here?
Yeah, like you did. Because we have this check context sensitive. Open the door doesn't exist on this blueprint, so it is not finding it. If we remove it, it will find it somewhere here, and it will tell that blueprint door is the one that we need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's really hard to find stuff without this context sensitive. So to avoid that, we get it from here, and from here, actions taken are from the blueprint door object, which do have, and now you have access to the open and the close door.
Right. Open door. Okay.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
can connect it with key.
Okay. So
Now do the same thing for the closed door.
I want to see if it works though.
Yeah, but it's already open your door.
Ah. Okay. We're gonna close it. Boop. Aha. Okay. It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad. So we wanna do the same. Door reference here, and we from here, close door. All right. Okay. Whatever.
Oh, if you don't like that style, here you can put
Oh, extended. Yes.
left hand side. Press it like this.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like that one. Okay, we can try it. Okay, nice. All right. So, situation, translation. Okay.
This is what we call blueprint communication, direct type of blueprint communication, because you have a reference that where you know exactly what's inside that reference.
Mm-hmm.
If this pressure plate later you wanted to open, I don't know, to turn on lights, then I mean it won't be. You won't be able to use that reference because that reference is a door and it's not a light. So we would need to do something else that we can get. Okay, so
Very.
let's see the chat and let's see the questions. And yeah, I also want to go to the bathroom. Where's my... Okay. Any questions? Anything? Well, Guille returns. I want this. Okay, let's see if there was any questions I missed. I'll just Control F run and see if something. Something of tangent. Does Blueprint Assist have a node wrangler sort of capability waiting on by it? You can check out the. I have the documentation for it. It's actually, there are a lot of good stuff there. I will share the link actually instead of showing it. It's more easy. I'll try to tag you. Oh, where was it? Here. Yeah, it has been one of the best $20 spent, actually. These are all the features of Blueprint Assist. Okay, it looks a sequencer. It's like brother teaching brother. Lol. He needs to understand either from either nicely or just repeatedly. Oh, is there any negative parts on certain collision tag? I answered that. Whether I success. I see a lot of people using a player cast to filter the player. That's unbound in my head. It's usually bad. Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes you do want a door to be opened every time, like any player goes there, so you don't really need to check. Okay, if success continue fail, do nothing, then unsuccess, then slow. Can you pull the door frame ref by using the pressure plate collision? If you make the overlay, the door sort of yeah, you can also do it through tags. I mean, it will really not be that
I'm ready.
that different. Yeah. I need to go to the bathroom to wait for.
Okay, so now it's us. We can start doing some Niagara systems maybe. So what was he looking? Well, it's getting easier to understand for sure. I do feel a little bit tired. I was thinking maybe I can do some push-ups when I feel sleepy. But pivots. I don't like how the close and open animation is so sudden. I'm gonna ask Ram how to make it like an animation. I'm gonna ask Ram once he's out. Maybe he knows. I have no idea. I have no clue. So pressure plate, not door. Okay, I have no idea. I have no clue. Are we all set?
Yes.
Let's continue then.
I'm starting to stink.
All right. I'm fine. But so is there a way to use this technique to move a UV in a UV atlas? Keyframe UV in sequencer? Oh, I have no clue about that.
In sequencer, I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with materials, and making a flipbook. There's a flipbook node there that you can use as a kind of atlas if they're spaced correctly, but in sequencer, yeah, you could drive some logic. I haven't done it, so I can't really say for sure.
Bad times. I promise I won't forget it an hour later.
I did this with an artist friend. Man's forgot it an hour later.
Maybe two.
No.
Maybe two.
I'll quiz you
No.
tomorrow. It's like, oh, you better do a little game with this stuff.
No. Okay. So one thing that bothers me is that the door just suddenly just opens or closes. How do I animate it like to go smoothly? Whoop, whoop.
Okay, that was the polishing phase
Oh,
in the second
we can do it
part.
later.
No, it's really okay.
How many pages do you have on your notebook?
No, we're halfway point.
Oof, so like okay. Oh Lord. Okay.
No, don't worry. The others are implementation stuff. Yeah, so let's make the door open and close.
I don't complain. I just I was thinking when I get tired, maybe I can do some push-ups like 3 years ago.
You could do push-ups like between breaks.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, you expand the
What?
desktop. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
expanded.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
And another cool feature of Unreal, if you alt zoom, but but you can go even zoom in. No, out. No. Yeah.
Alt? I'm pushing
Yeah.
Alt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't. What? You could go even control,
Oh.
especially when you're streaming with low quality.
Super soon.
Yeah. Control. Okay. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Okay. So
Let me. It's too late for markers, but yeah, someone would need to watch this again and do that timestamps.
hopefully Mao. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's polish this then, the door.
Okay, please.
The way you can do it, you need to change that 90 value constantly.
We want to make it a curve?
We will make it a curve.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can change the values on that curve. We could do it on the tick, but it's a lot messy to try to get the correct values at the correct time. So there's a node called timelines. So just right click.
Timeline. We put it like this, right?
I just put it, up top, timeline.
Timeline. Add
Yeah.
timeline.
And the timeline is a kind of a special node because if you see here in the components, you will find it here. It's like a new component that you have added, but you cannot see it here.
Okay.
Now, this timeline has a lot of input values and a lot of, well, not that much output value.
I can already see it. We reverse and play, right? Okay.
Yeah, you remember UDK
Mm-hmm,
with it's super similar to that.
Okay.
So we will need to update this value from 0 to 90. So
Okay.
easy, we can connect it here. Here we want to open the door, so from here we play. Playing will be opening, closing will be the reverse of that.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, pretty standard. We need to actually set up the values of the curve. All the curves that we can create, I can press F. Okay, here it is. All the curves will be inside this node, so we need to double click it. And the curve, it's defined by a track, so you can create a track. You will have a flow track, vector track.
Are we in sequencer? Okay, so this is a vector track, right? Or a float? Oh, float. Float is curve. Okay.
Vector also works, but in our case, we are only modifying the rotation. So
Okay.
we can call this rotation. Just call it rotation for now. I will change it to an alpha, but we will.
Okay.
Right.
No external curve.
Yeah, we could create also an external curve, but let's not complicate things. Here
Okay.
you can, I believe it was control click to put a point in the curve. No, alt click, shift click.
Shift click.
Okay.
Okay, so
we need to start at the time 0.
yeah, at 0, it's 0.
Yes.
And at 1, it's 1. And we need to make it smooth, right?
Remember that at yeah, smooth is fine, yes, but we are now, let's go back to the event graph.
Event graph.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now we will have this value called rotation. We want to connect that value to the C.
Rotation.
Yeah, to the C value of the new rotation. So we can just right click on top of that new rotation, right click it, split the pin, split,
Split stroke pin.
and now we can connect
Okay.
it like that. Now, our curve is going from 0 to 1. You could modify it to go from 0 to 90, just so we can see a quick fix.
Okay, okay,
So-
I understand. 0 to 90. Okay, so we can compile it and we can test it, right? Nice.
Yeah. Now, why does that happen? That it's staying too long? Because in your timeline, the maximum length is 5.
Oh, if you want to center the time, then you can press F. So
Ah.
okay.
Yeah, but zoom out the curve more. Okay, now remember sequencer. This is like the end of the clip, but your last key is here in 1. So you would need to change that length value to 1.
Right.
So whenever you reach at the end, it's stuck there.
Okay, it makes sense. All right.
And now it won't matter how much time you are in that part. And I don't know why there are 2 doors there, but okay.
But yeah, there are tutorials, right? Okay, cool. All right.
Right, yeah, but just so people don't tell me that I'm teaching you wrong, usually in VFX is always from 0 to 1, materials also 0, 1, or -1, right?
Okay.
It's a really good idea to always maintain that. So convert it back from 90 to 1.
Okay.
And the rotation, call it rotation alpha. That this part on top, like right click it here.
Oh, okay. F2.
Because usually when something is called an alpha, you assume that it will be from 0 to 1.
Of course. And we set, where do we set the value to 90 though?
Okay, let's go back to the event graph. We can multiply that alpha.
Oh, hold M and click? No, it's like materials, maybe.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
You can also do the asterisk, and it's a multiplication.
Okay.
Yeah, and connect it to, yeah, that part. You can press F and that gets deleted.
Never.
Okay. And that will be 90.
So let me understand it. Rotation alpha.
When
This
it's 0,
goes 0, 1.
when it's 0, 0 multiplied by 90, 0. And when it's 1, 1 multiplied by 90, 90.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is one important part. Whenever you return to a project after a long time, you will be here and you will be asking, why did I put 90 there? What does 90 means? This is called a hard-coded value. It's hard-coded because no one can change it unless you go to the code and change it yourself. So it's a good idea to these values and are hard-coded values or magical numbers whenever you find like a 5 in a function. And usually materials is like that. It's like, oh, there's a 1 here, why is there a 1, or why is there a 5? Yeah, magic numbers. You never want that. Replace it with a variable. So
Oh no, I have so many magic numbers on my materials.
oh yeah, I know, I've seen them. That's why I'm telling you now. So whenever you have that, like from the pin, from
That pin?
no, this pin, the 90, yes, that's one. you can
Comment.
promote to variable.
Oh,
No, you had it there. Oh, okay.
uh-huh.
That created a new variable, and you will give it a name. The
Mm,
name is kind of the comment. Really, you really don't need comments if you have good naming
on your
when it
variable.
comes to variables.
Okay, so this is rotation. Can I name it rotation?
Uh,
No, right? It's too common.
you can name it,
Door rotation.
yeah, or door max rotation,
Mm,
because, or door open rotation, whatever makes more sense to you.
door max rotation. Okay, and I'm gonna say that this. Where can I put a number in it?
It's
Oh,
you
here?
need to compile.
Oh,
No,
okay. And
because
here
we
it says
promote it,
90.
it's already at 90. Now, you could leave it exposed like you just did, like with the
Mhm.
eye open.
And that makes it so we can just configure different,
Yeah,
right?
you put, okay, expected
Oh,
outcome.
it's how do you call those?
Revolving doors.
Nice. That's pretty good. Okay, okay. That's very intended. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and that's uh, how we can polish like the. It works especially well when you change meshes of doors. You just need to change this door max rotation value and it will work.
Okay, so what if on the reverse I want the rotation to be not 1.7K but only 90? How can I control that here, right?
Another timeline, bro.
Oh, okay. I don't want to do that.
Or another curve inside the
Mm,
timeline.
inside timeline.
Because the curves are not only useful for changing the value, you can tweak the tangents and maybe make a door open like really fast at the start and slow down at the end, like and then come back the other way around. So you can tweak the animation with this type of curves.
Okay, so let's see. Uh, yeah, this is. Yeah. Okay, so if we go back here, aha, we have the closing. But
Yeah.
but where do we put that one though?
Okay, so now you need to ask the timeline which direction is going, forward or backwards. And for that, you have this pin.
That direction.
Yes. So you can drag that pin. And when we are comparing values, it's usually with the sign equal. So just type equal. Yeah, that's the one. And because, yeah, okay, so
Ooh.
that will work, but it's especially useful. This type of green variables that we didn't talk about
Mhm.
are bytes. One byte has a value between 0 and 255. You don't really need to know about it, just that it has a limited set of numbers. And they are especially useful for something called an enumerator. An enumerator lets you link like, oh, 0 will be open, 1 will be closed, 2 will be in progress, for example. In this case, the direction is an enumerator, so you can delete that and drag and drop, yeah, from there, equal. And on top you will see equal enum. And now you can know forward or backward. It's
Mm.
forward it's 0, backwards is 1, but it's easier to know by name, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. So you can create an if like we did before, like, oh, an if and connect this part and something like this. Like,
I think this is too much for me.
no,
But
don't worry.
I ask for it.
Yeah, you ask for it. Like, this is comparing if the direction is forward or backward. For now, I'll leave it forward.
Hmm.
Forward forward is when this is play, backward is when this is reverse.
Mm-hmm.
If you connect it like this, then when it is forward, this gets executed. When this is backwards, this gets executed. So we can just duplicate the code. True. When this is forwards. And when it's false, instead of connecting this part, we connect the other one, like this. Make sense?
Yes. Makes sense.
Now, for me, this looks super ugly. And there's a way like you can skip this branch if you just do a select node from here, like select, and it will create this node. This node, I will connect it to the value I want. Let's remove the code duplication. I mean, if this is easier to read for you, we'll leave it like that. But just so anyone else is watching, it's like a way to clean this up is like this. We really don't need the if, so let's just delete it. And I will delete with Control delete. No, Shift delete. There it is. So this is the code we had before. We need to change this, so we will select this value depending on if it's forward or if it is backward. If it's forward, like this. If it is backwards, like this.
Okay.
So,
that's way.
It's more easier to
better.
understand.
Yeah. Damn.
So now, if we had like, let me focus this. We do need a curve here.
I'll make it.
Okay.
It's basically the same one, right? It's 0 and 1, right?
Yep. And you can change the tangents. Yeah, and it will be like whenever you have two curves, like if they're the same, you're using one, like it doesn't make sense. So we can change the curve so it's a little bit more drastic the way it's changed. It's closing. Yeah, so now let's compile and let's return this to a normal value so we can see the difference. Opens like that, closes faster.
Now let me test. So, but I cannot modify it here because hold on. I exposed this.
If you wanted to have a value like, when it's closing, it will close maybe to 45, then you would need to do some multiplication or operations here. Or you can, instead of returning to 0, we can return to 0.5, and that will be the halfway point.
Okay, I think this is good enough though.
Yeah, so now when it returns, it gets stuck there because that's the value that we
that's
we
good.
assign it.
It's actually really cool. Okay.
Yeah, but you see there's that skip because we are not starting where we end.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, but you can play around with that a lot.
Okay, so we should move on.
Okay, let's move on to creating a character.
Okay.
Which is
okay, yeah.
Which is something that you will need to do eventually. You can save all the
I saved
everything, and just to keep things clear, you can close the 3 actors here.
Okay.
No, the 3 tabs on top. Yeah, we'll create another one. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Now, let's create right. This closed door and open door doesn't work because the timeline only works during gameplay.
It does not work on the construction script.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I accept it. Okay.
Yeah, so let's create a character, right?
Okay.
It's like any other blueprint.
So blueprint, and we don't
Okay,
just actor, right?
if it was only an actor, we wouldn't be able to control it. So to control stuff, it's a pawn. A subclass of the pawn is a character. So
But if we want to create an enemy, it can be an actor.
it can be an actor, yeah, but you need to think like a AI brain will control that enemy. If it's a
Okay.
simple actor, for sure we can fake it with just move randomly and it will do it.
Okay, so it still cannot be an actor. We
Yeah,
need a character here.
yeah. A
Okay.
pawn, yeah. Create a character for now,
VP
and we can define
character.
what a pawn is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a character, and also create a pawn. Yeah. It will be a good idea to have
Okay.
both of them. Yeah.
Blueprint pawn. VP pawn.
Yeah, blueprint pawn.
Okay.
And open the pawn, and you will see a very clear difference between both of them.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
The character already has some components, the pawn doesn't. The character assumes that you will be working with a human or a type of biped. The pawn could be any type of things you want to control, for example, a tank, helicopter, ships, rolling ball, whatever you want. If you need to pass some inputs to some actor, it needs to be a pawn. So whenever you want to create something, you will decide, oh, should it be an actor? Will it be only on the level and do maybe move around some little bit? Or if I do need to pass some inputs, process if the W key is forward or backward, etc. So
Okay.
when I'm giving inputs to an actor, then it means that actor is really a pawn. But remember, anything that is in the level is still an actor. That's what we call the parenting. Whenever materials, a material instance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where a material is the parent of the material instance.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's something like that, but the actor is actually the parent for the pawn, and the pawn is the parent of the character.
Okay.
Because this has a specific use, like controlling stuff, and these have a super specific use of controlling stuff that looks like a biped, because already comes with the component of a capsule, which doesn't really fit if you are controlling a large ship.
All right.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you this difference.
Okay.
We really don't need the pawn. We want the character.
All right.
Yeah, to set up a character, the first thing is
We want to put a mesh here, right?
yep.
Well, a skeleton
You want
mesh.
to put the mesh. You want to put the visual stuff so you can get motivated.
Where is the
Okay, add. No, you were fine. In the content drawer, put add on the top part
add
and add a feature or content pack. Let's import the mannequin, the third person. Yeah. We're only going to use the skeleton meshes. Okay, they are there. Perfect.
Okay, cancel. And now, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna use money. And this arrow is where he's facing, right? So we need to.
Exact. Yeah, you need to make it.
This is fine, I guess. But the capsule, we need to bring it up, right?
Yeah, but the capsule is the parent component, so all the locations are based on that parent component. So what we need to move is the mesh downwards.
Oh, okay. Already, that's fine, right?
Yeah, we can make the capsule a little bit bigger so it fits the fit.
Okay, how do we scale? Okay, we can.
Instead of using the scale on the parent component, because you will scale everything, you can use the capsule half height. Capsule half height and the radius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I guess it's okay if it doesn't group his arms, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's more than fine. Usually you only want to collide with the torso.
Ah, right, right,
and the
right.
feet. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay. You will later fix it, but don't worry about it. It's fine.
All right.
Right. So let's put the character in our map.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, but we really need to fix the capsule then.
Yes.
He's floating. And
You can put, instead of perspective, you can put it like to the right side, and you can fix it. You can see easier.
you're right. But how do we move the capsule up though?
No. Just change the half height.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess that's okay.
No. It needs to fit the we can't move the capsule up and down. We can only move the mannequin. So the mannequin, you better leave it at the center.
Oh, okay, okay. Center.
Yeah. And make the capsule fit like it is. Yeah. More. I mean, if we don't collide with the head, uh, no one will notice. So it's fine if we can just put it like this.
Okay.
And then we just move the feet to here.
All right.
And it's more than enough.
Okay.
Okay, we return to the perspective. We go to the map. We have the character. We can press on end.
End, right?
To snap it to the level. And now if we press play, oh, they changed the face? Oh, I didn't notice. Okay. If we press play, we're still floating around. This is because we're currently not using that character. Our inputs are not being sent to that character. For that, we need to possess it. So to possess it, we can just click on it. Here we can search for, let's click on general. And there will be an auto possess player. We just select the player 0. By default, it's us. When we play, we will now possess that player. This character doesn't have a camera, so we are defaulted to the center of the character. And if we try to move around, there are no inputs, so nothing is happening.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to create the camera. And for that, the usual setup is add a spring arm. And as a child of that spring arm, add no, just leave it selected and add
the camera.
a camera. Yeah. Yeah, and now it's fine.
A little bit more like this, right?
You can do it like that, and if you want to extend it in the spring arm, here you have the target arm length. So now we can test it. Okay. And now at least we have a camera. We do not have the inputs, but
okay. All right, that's good enough. It's weird, but it's good enough. We cannot move it though. All right.
You want more water?
Yes. Okay, please continue.
Okay.
So
now
we need to put inputs on the hero.
Exactly. And this is where the enhanced input appears. So for that, I'll create a subfolder here called inputs. And here, right click. And if I find input, there will be an input action, which is what we want.
Okay.
This input action, let's call it input action move. And we will need another one to move the camera. This is the movement of my player, and I will create another one. Oh, where is it?
Why do we need one for the camera?
Oh, okay. So here in the movement, what I can define here is a description, is if I'm consuming the input and the type of value that it will return. And here I can give a boolean if it's press or not. One direction, if I'm pushing maybe some slider up or down, it will give me a value between -1 and 1. A 2D vector, which can be x, y, and x, and excuse me, x positive, x negative, y positive, y negative, like a D-pad. Or a 3D vector if maybe you're using a VR controller with motion. So in our case, we want this, but we cannot put two of these. So I cannot get the one like the left thumbstick and the right thumbstick. I would need two of these assets.
Okay.
So this will be the movement.
And
I
one, understand.
And the other one will be, you understand? Then the stream ends. Let's go to Okay, so let's just duplicate one, please. Camera movement. It's almost the same. So here we're defining the values that we're expecting. If we wanted to jump, we don't need an axis value. We would need to create, right? Let's just double click it. Jump. And change it. I only want to know if you press the jump button or
Boolean,
not.
right?
Boolean. So we now have the input actions, and let's save everything just in case. Just in case. Now we want to group these actions, so we can set up this specific character type of movement. So to group them, we can create input mapping context, or you can, I believe you can select everything and create input mapping context. And let's just call it input mapping context player, or main character, or whatever the player will be doing. Now, if your player could enter cars and move around like that, you will be player car, or player inside a car, or car. You will have different types of these type of inputs. Now, here we will have the mappings. They are already showing here because we selected them and right click and they're already here. We can shift click, so everything's open. So let's start with the first one, movement. Here is asking me for a key. In my case,
keyword,
and it will be W. If I press here, I can just press W and there it is.
So we need to do each for WASD, right?
Yeah.
I press A. Keep there. Oh. There we go.
Okay. If we remember, this movement is two values, the X and the Y value. W is what I need for the X one, because in Unreal X positive is the front. So in modifiers, I believe it was here.
Scalar?
Or was it here? I don't remember actually. No, it was in modifiers. Small scores, small sweets. Map you want the input into. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was this one. Just to be sure, because I don't remember it. You already have here in the characters
Go on third person.
third person input here. Yeah. This one, I believe it was just Swizzle. And this one should be negate and Swizzle. Yes. A also negate. And D.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Well, I was doing it the other way around. Okay, so I was fine here. I was misremembering. Swizzle, W, makes it go. Okay. Whenever we're talking 2D, X will be side to side, Y will be up and down. So that's why W is up, then we need to swizzle it so it can go in the Y value. And S will be down. So again, we need to swizzle it.
But we negate it, right?
Exactly. Okay, that's done. A, it's to the left,
It's just
so
negate, right?
we just negate it. Exactly. And D, we just leave it like that. Perfect. The same, well, not exactly the same, but for the camera, here we just need to look the mouse X, which is the movement of the mouse in the X axis, and the mouse Y. X, we just need to chisel it. And depending if you want an inverted type of controller, which I don't remember if I like it like this or I negate it, you can negate it or not. Let's see. And jump, pretty easy. Just press spacebar, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Those are the inputs. What's this? There cannot null value. Where? Input modifier on key mapping. There's a new null value somewhere. A-S-T. Mouse X, mouse Y. What?
Go up a little bit, maybe. Keep going.
Is this thing? I created a modifier with nothing here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Whoop. Now it's okay. So we now have the actions. We have assigned those actions a value in our keyboard, or it could be the gamepad, whatever you're using. And here they are. It's time to use them.
Okay.
So we go to the character, and whenever we need to use them, because even in our case in the action strategy game, sometimes I don't want the player to move. I only want the player to move when it gets their turn.
Right.
Yeah, but in this case, I'll just put it here in the begin play. We will get the enhanced input. Get enhanced input local player subsystem and add, I believe it was add context.
There, add mapping context?
Yep. I'll connect it. Our mapping context is the player, and that's it. We will play. We should be able to move around.
Nope.
Or maybe none. Access none. Am I missing something?
For me?
Maybe I'm just running, so I forgot. Oh, it's from the controller. Okay, my bad. Okay, and yeah, I did it like this because maybe I could get it from here. Okay, so do you know what a controller is?
Um, I mean to control the player, right?
Okay, yes, but it's not the physical controller like the gamepad.
Mm-hmm.
The way Unreal works is that whenever you're possessing something, you are the controller. There is a class called the controller that is the one that handles those inputs. So the player controller is your representation of whatever is happening in the game.
Okay.
But the actual pawn, the actor, the character, is the 3D representation of the player. So you are like the brain giving orders, which is the controller, and the actor slash player slash character is the one receiving it and acting upon.
All right.
So every character we can get, and let me just check if they did it like they just got the player controller. I'll get controller is fine. So every character or pawn can be controlled. So we want to know if we're being controlled by something.
Mm-hmm.
Controller. So we get the controller. And we do want to know if we're being controlled by a player. Otherwise, I won't need to add this mapping context to an AI. They can move without this.
Right.
So we enter the casting. What is a cast? If I try to, uh, this, do you remember our door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll go to a pressure plate. Remember that here in the pressure plate you tried to put open door
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't there. Yeah. If we wanted to force the engine to try to make this pressure plate into a door reference, what we can do is just cast to door. And from here we can open the door like this. Now this will be self because I'm trying to convert this pressure plate into a door. For sure this will fail always because there's no translation between them.
Mm-hmm.
But this node is just asking, oh, is this object reference a door? If it is, then do this. So that's exactly what we're going to ask if we're being controlled by a player or not in our character. So controller cast to player controller. And from here we will get the enhanced input. Get enhanced input, and there's only one.
Okay.
And with this system of the enhanced input, we can finally do this mapping. And let's see if it's working.
Okay, tricky.
It's not working. Great. What did I forget now? Third person character.
Cast
If it's valid.
It's valid. Target. And mapping context.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not forgetting anything. It's fine. It's being validated, yes, but more than likely it will be working. Yeah, what I did forget about it, let's just put it equal, like it is, like, oh, a valid here. This is just in case, for whatever reason, this wasn't created. If this wasn't created, then I shouldn't be able to control it. Okay. This is just a setup, so this character can listen to these inputs. But we have never told them that whenever we press W, we should move forward. That is part of the code.
Okay.
Just like we did here, like, oh, this pressure plate is sending a message to the door to do something. Yeah. Now we need the inputs to send a message to my character to do something. So when these mappings are added, now we can use this IA move. For example, I just type move. I'll type the IA move. Oops. And now we do have action to the events, which is the ones I need, and to the values. So for now, this event is more than fine. And let me delete this.
Should be untriggered, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when this is triggered, I want to do something. I want to move it. Because this is a character, the way movement works is through this component, the character movement. Here you have how the gravity affects it, max acceleration, and you can tweak a lot of values like the jump and a lot of stuff like that. So for now, I'll create the move, the jump, the camera, and the jump. And the jump is the easiest. Why? Because when it's triggered, I want the character to jump.
Okay.
Because this is a character, there already exists functionality to jump, so we just type jump, and it will jump. We play, we press jump, and of course it didn't jump. Why it didn't jump? Is this triggering? This is where the prints are super useful when debugging. It's not triggering.
Not triggering.
This is when we just connect everything and see if I messed. Maybe it's completed. No, it's not. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me check if this works or not on process. Just like this. Nope. Oh, I messed up somewhere. The player. Spacebar, triggers. Oh, pressed. No, of course not. Release. Wasn't it pressed? Or do I need to press it? Oh, just let me check the example now. We're at the time of diminishing returns with the long stream.
Yes.
So we'll end this and we'll be. Yeah, I know what happened. It's because they have the same name. And I'm calling actually the other jump. Yeah, it's that. It's because they have the same name.
Underscore.
Yeah, let's try the second one. That was going crazy. Oh, there it is.
Really nice.
Yeah. And that's why naming stuff is very important. But I didn't know I was naming it the same. Okay. Let's just search for everything else. And let me save everything because this probably will crash my engine. Camera movement is fine. It does not repeat itself. Jump. I'll call it player jump. move, I'll call it player move. And just to be consistent, this will be player camera movement. Yeah, save everything. Let's see if this has updated. Perfect. We can close this. We can close the pleasure plate. Now the jump works, but I do need to update it, I believe. Otherwise, let's refresh the notes. Let me just create the notes again. Otherwise, I'll find weird bugs lying around. AI player jump. Now we have it. Yeah, so here, AI input action player camera movement. The camera movement is super easy. We just need to add jaw. Add controller jaw. Jaw is to from left to right. No. It was roll, pitch, yaw. Yeah, yaw is left to right. And here, I just need to split it. If it's left to right, then it should be X, because right to left, and this one should be add controller pitch, because pitch is up to down, and this is Y.
And why did you put first jaw and now you put pitch?
Just so the cables doesn't cross like this.
Oh, okay. I see that you
Yeah.
have both. Okay.
Yeah.
Downstream.
Yeah. Now my camera is not moving like freely because I need to make this spring arm follow the controller. Here I'm just adding controller rotation, but the spring arm is not currently following the controller rotation. So with this, I can press play, and now I can control it a little bit better. And I believe the inputs are the other way around, so I'll just flip it here. I mean, I could flip it here. I could flip it in the action mappings. Wouldn't matter that much. Now it's working like it should.
Nice.
And finally, the movement. We get the character movement, and we add input. I mean, you can do it like this, but how does it do it here? Add movement input, yeah. It's
the same one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a function that uses this component, but yeah.
Okay.
Add movement input. If I just leave it like this, let's just put x1. This is a word direction, so it doesn't matter where I'm looking for or where I'm looking at. If I press any button, I'm only moving in the x value, even if I'm looking there.
Okay.
So I do need to know where is the front, and for that also I need to split this. To get the front of our actor.
Hey, Mayland. He said hello.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I have lost your attention. Don't worry.
No. I'm here.
This will be the last part, the test, and it will be all. Okay. To get the direction, lot of ways. Usually you want to get the forward direction of our actor. So we can get actor forward vector.
Okay.
like that. Because whenever I turn around my camera, my mesh moves, then whenever I press W, it will
Mm-hmm.
work.
Okay.
But this is not really realistic because we want our camera to be free. So in our class defaults, we should remove the rotation. I'll just type here
The check that you put, right?
the check that comes with the pawn. Use controller yaw rotation.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
But this
nice.
means that because my player doesn't rotate, then I'm always moving to that side. Okay? So,
Now we need to set up for every single direction, right?
yeah, but instead of using the actor, we want to use the camera. Or what it's called, remember that we're adding control rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will get the control rotation. Now, this is the thing that I want to get, like from this rotation, I want a forward vector connected like this. And the scale value is the only thing that I want to change. But now it should be working. It depends on where I'm looking at. Yeah, we will fix the mesh rotation, don't worry.
Okay.
Now, I wanted to work also with, it now works with W, but not with S. S also moved me to the front
Mm-hmm.
because I have not used this axis value. So what I will do is connect it like this. This is the scale value. If it's -1, it will be multiplied by this direction and we can get a negative value.
All right.
Because of the... It's working with A and D?
Yes, with left and right.
Okay, yeah. I'll just switch it then. Like this. And now we need to do the same thing, but for the right value.
Mm-hmm.
And the right value is from here, get control rotation, get right vector.
Oh.
And I'll put this one here, and I'll put this one here.
Okay.
And now it should be working. Yeah.
All right, pretty nice.
And because this is a character, that mesh rotation actually works with this component, which we can tweak around to get more acceleration, because these are only inputs. It's just a 1 and a 0. Just like we did with the door, that we can multiply with a value. Yeah, these are those values that we can change and tweak. So everything can be, I mean, if you want to jump more here in jumping, you can increase the velocity maybe to 3000. And then when we
Ooh.
play, it's like, whoop.
Okay. It's the equivalent of the door. Okay, nice.
Yeah, but there's a rotation here. Here.
Rotation rate?
The rotation rate, yes. How fast we want it to rotate, but the one that we are looking for is the orient rotation to movement. So we can move towards the side that we are looking to. See? Now the rotation rate will affect how fast we're rotating to that side that maybe we want to bump up. We just want to multiply. I was 8, I believe. Multiply by 2.
Okay.
Could be. And it should work also with our pressure plate because the pressure plate is just checking a overlap. So it works.
Okay. Really good door, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and because this is a character that already has an animation blueprint,
Mm-hmm.
Just to complete the example, we can animation blueprint, animation class, select the blueprint, and
Mm-hmm.
it should work out of the box. There it
Oh,
is.
nice.
And there you have it.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I need to click on. Oh, here.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and your door doesn't have a collision, so that's why you're going through the door. Doesn't matter if it was closed or not.
Yes. But what matters is that it opens and half closes. Yes. Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah, so the enhanced input system is like it gives you more freedom, but at the same time you need to set up a lot more value. So with this, at least you can start or quick start a game uh, with simple assets, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what have you learned thus far? So we can say our goodbyes and eat something.
Well, it was pretty interesting for me since I don't know much or well, anything. How the blueprints interact was pretty cool. How to call those functions was also very interesting. I think that I can do a lot of things with my effects now, and I don't need to ask you, can you please make this work?
Yeah, and if whenever you're working with effects that are dealing with materials that need to be changed in runtime, and this is something that I wanted to teach you just before we end.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get it, it really ends. Like, bye everyone. For sure he will get it, and I will.
By million, okay.
Yeah, I will fulfill the promise that when he understands blueprints, like everything, I don't know how many hours that are we going, like,
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
yeah, 4 hours. These 4 hours have all
It has
been,
been 4 hours?
yeah,
No
four
wonder I'm
hours.
so tired.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
I'm
god.
also trashed, completely trashed.
I can tell, like, it went from, oh yeah, this does that, and okay, now you do it too. Now you tell me everything. I'm so
Yeah,
tired.
you can watch the video. I saw your face and it's like, oh, he's falling asleep.
No, no, I'm not falling asleep.
Okay,
I'm conscient
yeah, but
here.
these 4 hours have been for this part.
Oh no.
All
Okay.
for this part.
Okay, okay. This is the part of the raid when I just fall off the ledge.
Yeah, and
No.
no, it's got to do with the box that should still be working. Like, yeah, it should work. It's still working.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be another stream where I teach you about the framework of Unreal, but not today.
Okay. Okay.
This box, you remember correctly, we're setting the material here,
Uh-huh.
but probably you won't have a material this simple. You will have a material that this becomes a parameter. It becomes a variable. Now you can make the comparison because they're both the same. So we convert it to a parameter. This will be the color.
We will need to make it an instance, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, it's yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm cursing now. Yeah. And
Demonetized.
let's see if it works. F.
Oh.
Okay. And we create an instance. There's a button here, right? And just right click it.
Yeah.
Create a material instance.
And just name it color.
Yeah, yeah. But should be the green one. This will be the color.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, this can be also the color instance, but you may find yourself that you will have something like this, which I don't really like, where you have like red, unless there are a lot of changes inside these instances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
We can expose the. Oh, apply.
ah!
It was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen.
Okay, I learned.
No,
I know.
we're almost at the finish line. We can't give up.
I know.
No, I won't open, otherwise it will crash again. No,
Oh no, it was a hiccup.
let me open the map.
Oh,
Where you say?
present content.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, where's the guy that asked for the naming instruction? No, the project instruction.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did. Here's your map, and I
Yeah,
just created.
but
I duplicated.
you made it through map.
Okay,
It's
okay.
both of our fault.
Yeah, sure. Okay, now we're back. Where's the green again? Here. Color.
Duplicate it.
Green inst. This is the red one. Oh no, it didn't apply. Didn't
No.
save. Yeah, it didn't save.
Color.
Color.
Apply. Okay. Now it's
Okay.
fine.
Now it's fine. This is the red one.
Click on the check.
Oh,
Let's say that's red.
that's red. More red, impossible. Okay, so I really don't like to see this unless there are a lot of properties that have been changed. If it's just one, then it's a waste of assets. And it's a waste of loading stuff, which, I mean, it's an instance, so you can leave it like that, right? But what will happen is that you will have that this cube uses the color. Could use an instance also.
Yep.
Put m color. There it is. And whenever we want to update the material, we just want to change that parameter. Okay, so it's as easy as this. Set
the material parameter, right?
Yeah. Well, if you put parameter.
No, la A. Para. Oh. Claro, parámetro.
Oh, there it is. Here we have set.
That's material? No.
Oh, yeah. We need to get the material. Yeah. We can get material. I'm doing it like this for a very good reason. Don't worry.
Okay.
Set.
I trust the process.
Parameter. Set. I don't have access through here. Set object integral array method. No, it won't let me. I need to create a dynamic material. Okay. Yeah, let's create a dynamic material. Construction script. We created here because we want that dynamic material. Okay, let me rewind a little bit.
All right.
We have this parameter. Oh, where is it? And it works very similar with VFX. We have this parameter we want to change. If we just get the material and change the color parameter, it won't work. Because by default, materials are like paint. You just paint it once, that's it. Unless they have some animation, but it's the kind of paint. That's what I mean. If you wanted to do it on the fly, you need to make it a dynamic material. We will do it in the construction script before this. So I'll do a sequence here.
Oh, compile? Maybe that's why it wasn't working? Would that be it?
No.
No? Okay.
Okay, so here we create a dynamic material. We can create dynamic material instance, and we can select the material from this component.
Okay, from cube. Okay.
Yeah, so there it is. It will ask me which element index. This one only has one, which is this one, which is the one that I need. If we wanted to use another material, we can put something here, but for now, I don't really need it.
Okay.
And because we will be sending messages, we need a reference.
We need to create a reference on here on the
Yeah,
components.
which is
Okay.
the same as right-clicking, promote to
Promote to
variable.
variable.
And this will be the
Color.
material.
Dynamic. Oh, okay.
Cube reference.
Okay.
Now that we have this reference, we can send messages to that. We can create that communication between assets. So here in update, we can, because we have the reference, we really don't need to get the material through the cube. We
You
can
want to get it. Okay.
directly. So set
Parameter.
parameter. And the color is a vector. In the case of materials, vectors usually are 4, not 3 numbers. So here I can have like, oh, my red color. And this should work. And you can do that this part.
Yeah. So I
just so we know that we
get rid
you
of
got
this.
it.
For false, I wanna set vector value. No. We wanna get the reference. Reference. We wanna get it. And then we're gonna set vector parameter. And in here we can just put that this is green. And this is hooked on defaults. And this does not lead to anything, right?
Yep.
We can try. They're both green. I cannot move.
Cannot move.
No.
Oh, it crashed. It didn't save.
Oh, no way.
Don't worry. We can just remove the possession of the player.
Okay, thank you, Lord.
Yeah, but still, we are all green. Something broke.
Okay, the others worked on them. So what broke? Let's see. Update material color. Sure. Maybe we are not setting something on the door. I'm sorry, on the plate, right?
No, this is the box. Doesn't have anything to do with the
Parameter name.
Ah.
You got it. Didn't put any
Yes.
color. Okay. Color. Aha.
Yes. You got it.
I did it. But it does not. We haven't put anything for it to go back, right? So it only switches.
Yeah, and that's it. Because of the delay node.
Wait, actually. Look, I press play. They change. I step. Nothing happens.
You want it for something to happen? We can add it if you want.
No, I think it's fine.
It's the same. Oh, we have done it before.
Hold on. So I want the colors to change when I'm not there anymore. Oh, wait, but it's because this door doesn't really close, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then let's modify the door.
No, but you want the colors to change when what? When you press?
No. I just wanted them to to change, but I didn't realize that it was because the door didn't close.
No, the door closes, even though it looks like it's not closing, but I mean, it's running the close code.
Right, but then why does it need to go back? Look,
Okay.
I'm confused.
Because you need to remember who sends the message to whom.
The pressure plate sends it, right?
Yeah, to whom.
To the door.
Yes. So why would the blocks move or change?
Right.
You would need to connect it for the pressure plate to also send a message to those parts.
Right.
Yeah, we can enter to interfaces, which was the last topic, but
the information is not entering so much anymore. But
no,
understanding.
just do it the same way. In the pressure plate, just like you needed a reference for the door, you would need a reference for the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. This is box reference, and this is PP box.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also open.
We just put it here, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Get.
Yes.
And then this is oh,
Exactly.
we need to set it first, right?
Yeah, just create a custom event in the box.
Mm-hmm. So custom event, and this is set green, right? And we make another one for set red.
Yep.
Set red. And so for the green, like on the door, let me check it. Yeah, we are setting it. Okay. So hold on. We need to create one more variable, right?
You could use the one that already exists.
It's just this one. We need to set it.
Not the dynamic material. I mean, we're going to reuse the update in the box.
In the box?
Yeah, we're upwards. There. We're going to reuse that.
This one.
So
Can we convert it to variable?
no, because we're choosing red if our isDoor variable open is true.
So we just put it here, like this, right?
Yeah, you can do it like that, but that's duplicating code, which I told you it was not a good idea.
Okay, so we need to make it a function, right?
It's already an event. See, you just need to call this. You set this value and then call it, and then you will immediately get red or green. And you don't need to duplicate that much code.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah.
Update material color.
Right.
The target is
this one is fine.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
Yeah. But before calling it, set the variable of the door, if it's open or not.
Set the variable of the door.
Right.
If it's oh yeah, is door open?
Yes. But instead of getting it, just set it.
Right. Don't tell me so much. I got it. No. We set it. Shit. And if it's green, it's because it's open.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just duplicate this here. Okay. It's closed. And in here, we are doing update material color. If it's true, this should be it. No?
Are you sure that the green will be green when that code executes? I mean, you can always try it, and
okay.
If it's not, it's like, oh, just change it.
it does not change actually.
Yeah. Why? You told me not to help you. Remember,
Mm.
it's a thing of blueprint communication.
Okay, hold on. We need to set something with the pressure plate, don't we? Material color.
I mean, it never hurts to look back to other classes.
Beginner lab, open door, sure. Door reference. Not this.
Yeah, the door is not part of the communication between the
Yeah,
pressure plate or the box.
okay. Do we need this? Open the door? No. Door reference.
I mean, you don't want to destroy what you already did with the door. We just need to add stuff.
Okay.
Remember, the custom events are never called unless we execute them. Otherwise, they will never run because they're custom. The engine never knows how, when, or why to call them.
Can you tell me that again?
So whenever we create a custom event, it's not
Mm-hmm.
like a begin play that gets called whenever the game starts or the tick that it's always being called. Because it's a custom event, it's never called.
Oh, so we need to hook it here.
No, you need to hook it whenever you need it, which is when you press the pressure plate.
Hmm. I understand. Okay, so on beginner lab in here, we can say set. No. What is it? Set green.
Yes. But this
But
blueprint
it's.
doesn't know what set green means,
There we go.
right?
Oh, hey, Clemmy, thank you. And the target.
Yeah, it's looking for a blueprint box, but this is a pressure plate, so
Yeah, so we need the box reference. Get it here. Let's see if that works. Nope. Trying to read property.
yeah, so everything's fine. The thing you're lacking is that that box reference is null. There's nothing inside it. Remember that in our pressure plate we needed to select something in the map. Right now your code will work, but that box reference is
It's empty.
yeah, so we just need to make it so we can edit it by the instances inside the
Instance editable. Okay. And can we actually do it here?
that variable is inside the pressure plate.
Oh, like
Yeah.
this? Box 2. Box 1.
Try it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You knew it, and then you forgot why you entered the box. You had
Yeah.
the reference floating around. It's like, oh,
Let me check it again though. So this was null.
yeah.
We need to make it editable.
I mean,
Okay.
we need to fill it with whatever we need. Not necessarily editable, but editable is the fastest way. Now, just as a quick bonus, right now you have two boxes. If you want to interact with both of them, you will need to do something called an array. An array is like a variable, but a group of them.
Okay.
So here we could here array, and you can see single group array. I will change it It shouldn't break any. Yeah, so now we have this pin instead of one.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that we have a group of boxes.
Okay.
So now the last node of flow control is the for node. When you have a group, you can do a for each element.
For each element.
So here
For
for
each
each
loop?
loop, we'll loop around everything. I can connect this for each loop. So for each element, it will execute this once. What is the target? Is the element. So we are getting element by element, and we are setting this green, and we just need to do the same thing for the red.
Okay.
And because it's an array, now we need to fill it up almost the same way. Set red. There we have it. It's the same, but we're not working with one anymore. Now it's a group.
Okay.
And this is what we call a loop because it loops the number of elements that we have inside.
And how does it know what boxes are inside? Just every single box it's inside of the array right now?
Right now, nothing is inside of the array. We need to
Okay.
do the same operation that we did before here. Now, instead of having this, we have a list.
Oh, okay,
We
okay.
click on plus and we add any box that we want. Yeah, you can also use that eyedropper to select the
To
actor
pick.
that you need.
Okay, so with that. Oh, cool. Okay. Now just pressure plate. Hold on. Yeah, I don't want this. So what happens if I do that? Oh, they're still different. It's just at the start that they are. Okay, yeah. Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I want the rest. We should definitely do another one to
We can
continue learning.
we can continue with advanced blueprint. Maybe we can call it
Not advanced.
Mauricio. No, but it was
Lord.
fun. What would happen if we need to stream for like 6 hours, 12 hours?
Well, I'm not sure. I just know that I want the rest.
Okay.
I'm too tired.
No, but you got it. You got it at the end. So
Yeah,
now the stream ends. So
that's what I want to make you guys believe.
take care.
Thank you for joining us and staying for so long. It's been so long. Oh, Lord. See you.